Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests.
Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations.
It's free. I love iHeartRadio.
Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals from Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raided. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube, right here in the Ingalls studio. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat for an Overreaction Monday.
Yesterday was fun. If you watched our live fantasy show right there on the old YouTube, we basically walked you right into making a whole mess of money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like I did.
If you listen to Jeremy on Lamar Jackson, good job. Mark Andrews.
Deontay Foreman.
Yeah, that was a good one. What else?
Oh, let's see. Who else did I have yesterday that was really good?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, now I'm completely blanking on the running back. Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, basically it was all good. Until Isaiah Pacheco scored a late touchdown and cost me, well, just a whole mess of money.
Really?
Yesterday was going to be real good. It wound up being good.
Mm-hmm.
It had the chance to be Jeremy took Monday off good.
Oh, nice. Well, unfortunately for us, that didn't happen. And you're here. So let's get into it. The Overreaction Monday. There was some interesting things that happened yesterday.
Yep. You want to just go right off the top of the this will be called an overreaction, and it's not.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills are not making the playoffs. Period.
Yeah. What was that? What has this been for the last 3 weeks?
I watched way more of this game than I should have because I picked up very early on there is something seriously wrong with Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think they would lose until about the start of the fourth quarter. And that's where I went, the offense is too predictable. Josh Allen has not been good. He looks out of sorts. He is running for his life way too often. He only got sacked once yesterday, but he scrambled around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tie all of this back to one big problem.
What's that?
Brian Daboll's in New York. And he ain't in the upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
He's down there in the city where bad things are happening.
Right.
I put all this on Ken Dorsey. He's not a good play caller. The offense is way too reliant on Stephon Diggs. I hinted at this last week, and I thought this was potentially a problem, but I thought it was Stephon Diggs screaming for targets, and we're inundating him with targets to make sure he's happy. At this point, I'm not sure Ken Dorsey can do anything else.
Right.
Because everybody else, it's either the dunkiest offense you've ever seen or Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And teams are figuring it out. Now, yesterday it worked for a touchdown that it shouldn't have because he rolled over somebody's back and just ran in the end zone. But he's double covered. It didn't matter because Josh Allen just stares him down and goes, I'm not doing anything else.
And is that on the play calling or is that on Josh?
I will say it's 60-40. I think Ken Dorsey's the biggest problem because this offense is too predictable. They get away from the run. And, you know, I hate to say this to Buffalo Bill fans like, you know, our own Asheville Police Chief David Zach. You're 4-3, and you just finished the easy part of your schedule. Because from here, it's not pretty. Now, they get your Buccaneers on Thursday, which you said, oh, there's no shot they lose that. They just lost to New England Patriots, okay? There is no – surely they're not going to do that. In the last 2 weeks, they could have lost to the third worst team in the NFL and did lose to the worst team in the NFL. So there's no, oh, that's going to be an easy win. After Thursday, you get a 10-day layoff before you have to play a Cincinnati Bengals team that absolutely demolished you the last time we saw it. That's on Sunday Night Football. Get a sweet little layup with the Broncos. Then here's the rest of your schedule. Jets at the Eagles, at the Chiefs, Cowboys at the Chargers, Patriots again at the Dolphins. I can't get you to 10 wins anymore. After watching Philadelphia last night, they will kill you. They will hurt your feelings. But what they did to Miami, oh, have no fear, underdog. We're going to get to Miami a little later.
Right.
But that is not as good a win as it is made out to be.
It looks great. It looks absolutely great. When you go I just road stomped the Miami Dolphins 48-20. Yeah, but then you went to the UK. You got beat by the Jags, which is respectable.
Yeah,
the
that's
Jags
a good
are up
team.
there. Okay. But then you came back home, and we don't know what happened against the New York
last
Giants.
week falling flat, that's in a primetime game against a team that you expect that you could just put your pants on the right direction and make sure everybody has a helmet and you should win. I'll give you that. This was a rivalry game in your division against a team that has haunted your nightmares for 25 years. And you came into their stadium with no offense. They couldn't score on Girl Scouts. They scored on you at will. You made Mac Jones look like he belonged in the NFL.
Yep.
Mac Jones was already filling out applications at Burger King to run the Fry Daddy, and you made him look like the MVP of the league with no weapons. You don't have anything in the back half. Losing Matt Milano, yeah, that's a big deal. Losing Edmonds last year to free agency, yeah, that's a big deal. Losing Tre'Davious White, that's a big deal. Awesome, your front four's good. You know who else knows that? The other 31 teams in the NFL. And Tyrod Taylor and Mac Jones just took complete advantage of this. If you boil what they have done to this point down, you have a convincing win over the Raiders, who just lost to the Chicago Bears in horrific fashion. And the Commanders, who I'm not sure don't have a really substantial life insurance policy on Sam Howell, and they need it to pay off. This team's not making the playoffs in the AFC.
Yeah. It doesn't look
Unless
good.
something aggressively changes. And you can say I'm overreacting. That's fine. That is the name of the day. It is Overreaction Monday. I don't see anything that the Buffalo Bills do consistently well that lends me to believe they're one of the 7 best teams in the AFC. Do they run it consistently well?
No.
No. Is the offensive line good consistently? No. Is the defense good consistently? No. That's not a playoff team. You don't have Andy Reid that's here conspiring plays. You don't have Brian Daboll that got the best out of Josh Allen. And now here's the part that nobody wants to talk about. The further away from Brian Daboll Josh Allen has gotten, he's reverted back to that kid he was as a rookie that does nothing but turn the ball over constantly, make just some of the most idiotic reads that you will ever see. Just take the last play of yesterday. All right, you got to do the, as Scott Van Pelt calls it, the pitchy woo-woo. You never got to the woo-woo. You didn't even get to the pitchy. You ran it 7 yards and went, oh, no, hold it. You. That's not an MVP level quarterback. Mm-hmm. I know he's got that talent. He's not playing that way. And he hasn't played that way for an extended period of time. And now with just Stephon Diggs, that's not enough. That's not enough. Look around this conference. Look at this division. You got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill with Raheem Mostert. Even the Jets have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. That's two. Mm-hmm. Who's your two? James Cook? Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference in the three things I just said. And it's just not enough. Yeah. You're dropping off all these little dump-offs to Dalton Kincaid. Bill Belichick had no fear of that. None. With a hemorrhage defense, missing its two best players and another of its probably top 5 or 6, they had no fear of you. Mm-hmm. Stephon Diggs, okay, he'll get his. He'll be fine.
And they were still getting, and that's the thing. You had a depleted defense, and they're still getting pressure. They're still getting pressure, making him uncomfortable. And I honestly believe that there's got to be some kind of a trust issue here, right? Josh is only looking to Stephon because that's the only one he trusts. It's the only one that he can trust each and every play.
Yeah, Gabriel Davis yesterday, 5 targets. Mm-hmm. 4 of them, he could have been Victor Wembanyama. He wouldn't have caught nary one of them. 1 catch, 6 yards. Mm-hmm. You look up and down at this. Latavius Murray. You still think that's a thing? No. Deontay Hardy. Khalil Shakir. None of this is striking the fear in anybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that if you were fully healthy, you wouldn't still be. I don't think you're what you were billed to be, and I haven't since the preseason. Because I don't trust Sean McDermott, and I never have. But where this sits now, I don't think you're a top 8 team in this conference. And you add that into what you're getting ready to have to play, and it's bad times in Buffalo. Nobody circles the drain like the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to believe that it's going to change at any point.
Well, now you've gotten to the point.
Right?
Now you've gotten to the point of you're going to have to win games that you're not expected to.
Mm-hmm. And that's
always when I get scared, especially with teams when I don't believe in your head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to go into Philadelphia or into Kansas City or into Cincinnati or into L.A. I know that crowd's not that intimidating because it's probably 90% Bills fans, but you still got to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
East Coast traveling west.
And the way they're playing, I'm not real concerned about that.
You should be. Let me say this again because you don't seem to be getting us.
Mm-hmm.
They just lost to the worst team in the NFL.
I get it.
And could have easily lost to another of the worst teams in the league a week ago.
Yeah.
This is not, what happened this week? This is becoming a trend.
But you have to stop the trend, right?
I don't know how you're supposed to stop it.
And
based off what I saw, Bill Belichick basically just just laid out a blueprint of this is how you beat the Buffalo Bills. It's how you beat them. Double cover Stephon Diggs and let them do all this other little dinky-dunky thing they want to. Mm-hmm. And then when they get in the red zone, wait for Josh Allen to make a mistake. Or just make him throw a lot and play the law of averages that he makes mistakes at a higher clip than virtually any other quarterback in the league.
Right. Is there any hope coming? Is there any injury relief coming for them?
Not that I can see. I mean, Milano's done for the year. Mm-hmm. Tre'Davious White's done for the year. I don't see what you're going to add that's going to fix these problems. You've got a slew of corners here that their idea of defending is, hey, grab onto the first thing that comes close enough to you to grab. That's going to be a problem going against Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts and Pat Mahomes, even Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and then Tua Tagovailoa. That's 6 games right there. Just the 6 I just said. If you win every other game you're supposed to, where does that put you? 8-9.
Yep.
That's 8-9. You're not making the playoffs in the AFC at 8-9.
So now the question has to be, if that happens, what do they do?
Fire Sean McDermott immediately.
Just blow it up.
Immediately.
And your answer's not Ken Dorsey.
No.
You got to go completely scrap it. And how much of a setback does that become for the franchise? Who's the guy out there?
I mean, now you're getting way down the rabbit hole. That hasn't happened yet, but I very much see it in the cards.
Right. The only reason I bring it up is because now it's a legitimate question to bring it up, right? Over the last 2 weeks, you wouldn't have thought there's a chance, right? Well, we'll be fine. This will be a bounce back. And I still don't doubt that they'll bounce back this week. Thursday Night Football in their own house. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not a great team. This should be a crush spot. Although, the Giants should have been a crush spot.
Well, and the thing that should make you a little nervous is that Josh Allen's been mostly pretty good. He's completing passes at over a 70% clip. He's only got, I think, 8 turnovers all year, which is right in line with what he's been his entire career. That's not even the bad times. You're still losing games. And you could easily be sitting here at 3-4, and if they were, the season's over. That's what got me thinking about this, is that as I watched the end of that Patriots game, I went, my God, you better be glad you didn't lose last week. And the more I thought about it, what does that really change? That would have been the definitive nail in the coffin.
Right.
But even then, I don't feel that much different about them. No. I look at the AFC East right now. You've already lost to the Jets. Yeah, you beat the Dolphins, but that's feeling way more like an aberration by the day. They couldn't figure out how to defend Stephon Diggs. Well, guess what? They got Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. So what you did to them the first time, that ain't going to work the second time. And I'm not 100% sure at this point that Buffalo's better than the Jets are. They're definitively better than you defensively, and they run the ball exponentially better than you do.
You're right.
So, yes, you've got Josh Allen, and I understand that. That is a huge advantage by comparison. I don't know if it's enough to make up for the rest of it. I mean, you can just heap this on his shoulders, but where does he fall in the hierarchy of quarterbacks? He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Joe Burrow. Hell, at this point, he's not Jalen Hurts.
Who, Josh Allen?
Yes.
Not the way he's playing. His capability, and we've seen him be that good. Maybe he's just in a slump.
Well, he's in a slump completing 71% of his passes, so I'm not real sure how it's going to get better than that.
I don't know. I mean,
that's the thing that would terrify
completion
me.
percentage isn't everything, right? Completion percentage doesn't always translate to points. As you said, a lot of it was dinky-dunky stuff over the middle that didn't, maybe it extends drives, but it's not putting points on the board. And that seems to be the big major problem.
Well, okay, then let me phrase this a different way. You're completing 71% of your passes. That's 8 percentage points better than he's ever been in his career. So, in all reality, you're getting a better version of Josh Allen than you've ever gotten before, and you're worse than you've ever been in this little reign. What does that tell you? That everything around him is atrophied to a point that I just don't think they're that good. You fooled me once. But after 2 of these, you're either really poorly coached or you're just not that good.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Overreaction Monday continues after this.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from this station's network.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Liberty Mutual presents How to Get Ahead at Work.
It's simple. Just ask for a meeting with your supervisor. While you're discussing the latest sales reports, just slip into the conversation that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Whoa! The business savvy you showed saving hundreds of dollars on home insurance will have you running seminars on saving money in no time.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy on an Overreaction Monday. And, hey, how about them Las Vegas Raiders, huh?
Well,
aren't they good? Aren't they good?
Give me just a second. I want to address something Colin Green said in the YouTube chat. He's talking about how the Bills are always propped up, and well, they've been in the playoffs 4 years in a row. You made it to the conference championship game. We were expecting a step forward. We expected this to be a rivalry with the Chiefs. That's the reason it happens, because nobody else had stepped up to be that. We thought it would be Chiefs, Bengals, Bills for a decade, because you had the three elite quarterbacks in this conference.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel that way about Cincinnati. I definitely feel that way about Kansas City. I don't feel that way about Buffalo anymore. Yeah. The talent around Josh Allen has regressed. And they're just not that team.
Yeah.
Now, as for what you just said,
I'm your huckleberry.
First one of those of the day comes from our buddy Soaring Eagle, who is insanely upset that Josh McDaniels didn't play Aiden O'Connell yesterday, which I don't understand why he didn't do that either. I don't understand how you looked at Brian Hoyer and went,
that's a good call.
Let's do that. Let's do that. That'll be fun, won't it? Holy horrific offense, Batman.
Uh-huh.
That Raiders team was
not good.
But did you notice it was a rally around old Tyson Bagent, a West Virginia feller just like me.
That there
Although
was.
he went to a school that I don't know that it has running water.
Where did he go to school?
Shepherd University.
Shepherd. That's right. Division II Shepherd.
Is it insane to say that the Bears looked markedly better with Tyson Bagent than they did with DJ Moore?
No. Are you with Justin Fields?
Or with Justin Fields?
No, it's not. But
you know why?
But it's the Raiders, right?
I'm not. You beat an NFL team 30-6.
I know.
And held them to, I believe, under 200 yards of total offense. That's not easy to do. But I mean, it's easy to figure out why that happened, right?
Why?
Oh, because you ran the ball down their throat. You ran it 38 times. Deontay Foreman was one of the leading fantasy output guys of the day.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy that they wouldn't even put on the field. He was a healthy scratch the first 4 weeks of the season. Hey, Matt Eberflus, when you have a mediocre quarterback, which both of them are, run the damn ball. Especially if you can do it like that.
Right.
I mean, you just look through box scores with this one with Tyson Bagent and then the previous 5, 6 with Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't look the same. Because you get a lot of Justin Fields drops back, tries to throw a bomb, and then, I'm going to run away or throw it to the other team. You just played within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think that would happen again? Probably not.
I was going to say, against any other team?
Probably not. Well, you're... Okay, this is the
Look,
Raiders.
it was a good day for me, okay?
You can't be realistic when it comes to the Raiders. Oh, yeah, and I forgot. Vegas did score one late.
Yeah, they did.
I forgot
Jacoby
about that.
Myers. But it was 30-6.
It was a worthless late touchdown.
Of course.
I also love that Devontae Adams said, hey, throw me the ball more. We throw him the ball more. Worst drop I've seen in the end zone in 3 years. Just, oh, shoot. I did it wrong.
Yep. We have to be better. Guess what? You can't be better, okay?
Well, it's hard to be worse than you were yesterday.
Because you're terrible. And the Chicago Bears winning was, well, you know. It was just because I picked them, right? Because I picked the Las Vegas Raiders to win, and they went, ha-ha.
We have a lot of West Virginia fellers in the chat that are, yes, Tyson Bagent was the D2 Heisman. I'm not saying he's not talented. If you remember correctly, I actually said at one point, is it completely out of the realm of possibility that you should be looking at sitting down Justin Fields?
Sure. And you know what? You got a better shot, maybe not a better shot, but as good a shot to win games with Tyson Bagent as you do with Justin Fields.
That offense looked completely different in the way it was called, in the way it was, just all of it.
Mm-hmm.
The mechanics of it were different. I genuinely think at this point, you ride with him. I'm not saying you're benching Justin Fields. I'm just saying, hey, JF1, you know, we looked at the X-rays and it broke again. I don't know what happened there. It's weird. We're gonna let this kid play for a couple weeks while you get better.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: it's only going to go one of two ways. Either he's going to keep doing it, and after he's done it 2, 3, or 4 times, now I don't think you can sit him down.
Right.
Or it's going to crash into the ocean and you can go, yeah, see, it was always your job. We in an abundance of caution, we wanted to make sure that you didn't do harm to you.
Keep letting him play.
No
You got
doubt.
nothing to lose.
No doubt. I mean, you're 2-5.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose here.
You're 2-5. You play oh, good Lord. I wish I hadn't looked at that. Do you know what the Sunday night game is next week?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
Bears at the Los Angeles Chargers.
Woo!
Can we call that the unemployment bowl?
Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Because that's 2 coaches that are going to be looking for a new gig come the winter.
I'm actually surprised one of them's not looking for a job today.
I keep looking at Twitter. Hey,
I'm waiting any moment. You got 2 of them. You got 2 of them that no one would pitch a fit over. Brandon Staley and Ron Rivera. I don't think you'd have too many people that pitch a fit over either of those guys getting fired.
Oh, yeah. Old Ronnie Law.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, we got to start talking about sitting Sam Howell, right? I mean, if for nothing else, just to protect him.
Just to protect him. I mean, I could understand that, but
he got sacked 6 times yesterday by a team that had 5 sacks coming into the game.
Yeah. Your offensive line is not good at all.
The offensive line's not good. The play call's not good. Eric Bieniemy's not good. You're putting this kid in a position to fail. Hey, we're going to put 5 offensive linemen up there every single time we snap the ball.
Mm-hmm.
No running back? Nope, don't have one. Don't have a running back that can block. Tight end? No, we don't have one of those either. We have a converted quarterback playing tight end, so they don't block so good either.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the what are the things we're putting into motion here to make sure Sam Howell doesn't get decapitated on the field?
Well, we're not. I mean,
he's holding the ball too long. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't all him.
But I mean, obviously, we're not going to bench him, right? We're not turning this over to Jacoby Brissett. Isn't that who the backup is?
That is the backup. I'm not sure that you might ought to. If for nothing else, just so we can stop seeing that graphic of Sam Howell's been hit 437 times. Crash test dummies have not been hit this many times.
Right. I just don't get how you do that, right? You go up against a team that has no offensive line and their backup quarterback, and they struggle to score points to begin with. And lose to that.
I'm almost to the point of you should put Jacoby Brissett out there just so you can go, hey, look, he gets hit a billion times too. It's not just Sam Howell. You should. You can put Joe Montana back there. It doesn't matter.
Right.
When you have a guy that gets to the top of a 5-step drop and immediately – Sam Howell at this point in the NFL thinks that there's 6 steps in a 5-step drop. There's the 5 steps and then duck or run. Because that's what he does every single time he drops back. So I got a lot of flack about, you like Sam Howell too? I still like Sam Howell. I would like him much better if they put 5 NFL players in front of him to stop the defense. We have one of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
It's from Sir Jimothy. That's a new name. Said, did we learn more about Philadelphia, of which I will never call them anything other than that for the rest of my life, or the Miami Dolphins? That's perfectly timed because that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next segment. And it gets the whole segment because it was the game of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and nice out here this afternoon. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Clear skies and chilly here tonight, low 40s. High pressure will continue to dominate our weather through the middle and end of the week. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures both afternoons reaching highs in the low part of the 70s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday and Friday. High temperatures both afternoons in the middle to even upper part of the 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from this station's network.
Now, you can relive the greatest moments from our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Lenny Kravitz kicks things off with his biggest hits.
Foo Fighters get the whole crowd singing along.
Tim McGraw debuts his new song live.
Public Enemy brings the 90s hip-hop energy.
Fall Out Boy covers a classic while literally on fire. And so much more.
Relive the greatest moments from our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming now only on Hulu for a limited time.
The iHeartRadio app and the NFL right in your pocket. The home of the NFL Podcast Network, covering all 32 NFL teams, plus all the expert advice to win your fantasy league. And, of course, live NFL games. Touchdown! Download the free iHeartRadio app today. Free never sounded so good.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And Jeremy, it's not on the board as a talking point, so I'm going to use it for my just a bit outside.
Is it about a team that you like?
No. It's not about a team I like. It's about
I thought we were going to get to them and stock up, stock down.
No, it's about the team that played the team that I like. Does Arthur Smith know that Bijan Robinson is on his team?
Oh, he was sick.
Really?
He did not feel well. That's what he told the sideline reporters. But now here's my question. All right, he didn't feel well, but you put him in uniform.
Right.
Did he get this random...
And he was out there, right?
And he did play some snaps.
Right, he played like 7 snaps.
But my question is, so he didn't feel bad 90 minutes before the game started to where you could have used that roster spot on somebody that, I don't know.
Could have played.
Right. I mean, did he eat Long John Silver's? Because that's about the only thing I can think of that you would feel fine at 11:30 and you feel like Boo Boo Kitty at 1.
Mm-hmm. To me, it is one of the most maddening things ever. Like this has become the biggest, like, what is wrong with your coach kind of a move to me. Like, we were banging on Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions, Ben Johnson, for not using Jahmyr Gibbs early on in the season.
Out. Now, it was after they were down 38-0, but still, I mean, you figured it out.
But this is crazy to me. That Bijan has been as little used as he is.
He played 11 snaps yesterday,
which is insane. Like,
and none of them were touches.
Why even try?
That's the part that blows my mind. Is that all right? So he's limited, but you put him out there to block.
Right.
You can't run that by me one more time because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I would think if he played 11 snaps, he should have had 11 carries if he feels that bad.
No doubt. Because he's a weapon that I have to use when he's on the field. The problem is you didn't get him the ball at all? He didn't even get one touch?
Well, I'm going to say this as clearly as I can. I don't often say that you can judge somebody and their intelligence by one decision. This is a feller that keeps starting Desmond Ridder. So you're obviously not performing any rocket surgeries anytime soon because that makes 0 sense.
We should have known it was all off the rails with the mustache.
Oh,
how you haven't just, been shamed into shaving that thing off your face is crazy to me. How has no one walked up to him and gone, dude, you look like you drive a big panel van. Could you please?
With shag carpeting and a sign on the side that says free candy.
No doubt. Come on. Ugh.
I did hear, speaking of head coach's facial hair, I did hear a name that I'm probably never going to be able to unhear. We're discussing Ohio State head coach Ryan Day. Bluto. The bad guy from Popeye.
From Popeye.
Yep.
No doubt.
He is now Ryan Bluto Day.
I love it.
I called him Just for Men forever, but I think Bluto is actually better.
It is.
Now, something that's not better, the team at Michigan State, for as horrific as things went on the field, as you had 9 people in your crowd as Michigan beat you 49-0. Apparently, they have a YouTube channel. It's called the Quiz Channel. That Michigan State, That's what they do during breaks and timeouts. They put little trivia games up on the screen. Well, somehow in a game that was 49-0, which means there were a lot of TV timeouts and there were a lot of after-score timeouts, they only had one trivia question on the day. Would you like to guess what that question was? Where was Adolf Hitler born? And they put up a big picture of Adolf Hitler on the screen at Michigan State. Now,
to which everybody pointed and then went, "Oh crap!" and put their hands down.
Well, new take. I'll tell you, new take because he's a different feller. They've now suspended an employee. They didn't say who the employee was. You
got to know, right?
But you don't know because you're just playing it off the channel. You hit a button, it auto. This is on Michigan State more than it is the poor kid that probably went, oh crap. No. There are certain people that are never allowed to go on that screen, and that's one of them.
Somebody's got to take the fall for this, right?
Well,
this wasn't going to be the head of the video board crew.
But that's who it should be. Michigan State. Somebody should have stepped up and gone, you know what? Now that I have seen this, maybe, just maybe, I should have screened the questions that were being played for tens and tens of Michigan Spartan fans that are in this stadium.
But that's what we're led to believe here is that this is a service that comes to them that they can't screen. That this is just like a live feed that they're just picking up on the trivia questions. Now, I don't know that I believe that. I don't know how that system works. But, yeah, I mean, we don't have a relationship with those people anymore, which is what the school came out and said. Like, we're not using that aggregator anymore.
No. You know what? Now we're bringing in a DJ, and his name is DJ Cool Corey, and he's going to tell jokes and play music.
But part of the fault of the kid, and I'm saying kid because I don't know who this is, but I imagine that it's some young person.
It's some 23-year-old grad kid.
No doubt.
That's working in video editing.
That gets to work game day for free
hits
or
a
something.
Button. He hits one button and things pop up on that screen, and he just goes, I'm in danger.
Yeah. Now, should it have been up there long enough for somebody to take a picture of it is the problem.
We all have a camera in our pocket, okay?
I get it, but as soon as that goes up on the screen, you got to be aware. And maybe that's what their problem is that he put it up there and then zoned out, was busy doing something else. It's like, you got to know to take that off as soon as that hits the screen.
Hey, maybe he was playing video games during a Tuscola football game.
He probably was.
That's, make them laugh.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The super chats that we had before the break from Sir Jimothy.
I'm your huckleberry.
Says, did we learn more about Philadelphia or Miami in last night's Philadelphia win?
I want you to answer that, and then I'll answer it.
I feel like...
Because to me, it's not close.
I feel like we learned more about the Miami Dolphins than we did about the Philadelphia Eagles. And I say that because, well, I thought this was kind of what Philadelphia could do. Right? I felt like going into this game, they were going to be able to shut down the run, make Miami one-dimensional, and they would be good enough with the pass rush and with the secondary to be able to limit the damage that Miami could do. And I was not shocked when that was the storyline that came out of the game, was we couldn't run the ball, and Tua can't win you games. I mean, I've defended the kid a lot, but I don't know that he's the quarterback that can make you rise up as a team when one part of your game's not working.
It kind of blows my mind that two people could watch a game like this and have the exact opposite take on this.
Okay.
Last night, was Tua great? Not really. Did he have the opportunity to be? No, good Lord, no. I am reasonably convinced that the two tackles of the Miami Dolphins are still not 100% sure that Hassan Reddick plays for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Jalen Carter at one point picked up Isaiah Wynn and threw him like a little child and hurt him in the process.
Uh-huh.
To me, you learned exponentially more about Philadelphia than you did Miami. Here's why. I've now seen Jalen Hurts play, I'm going to be kind and say mediocre football. I've seen him do that a slew of times this year.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what that's yielded? One loss. One loss. You lost one game that Jalen Hurts lost you. Other than that, he's been mediocre to fine the rest of the year, and you're 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I still have massive issues with your play call? Oh, yeah, I do. It's getting better, but it's still not there yet. I don't think the defense is as good in the back half as they were last year. I don't know why. Schematically, it's just not as good.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill, he did a good amount of damage yesterday. You mitigated him to a point. But I look at Philadelphia at this point, and I'm right back to where we started the year.
Mm-hmm.
Best Philadelphia and San Francisco. I don't see a team in the NFC that's going to get in the way of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really care that Jalen Hurts is turning the ball over. Jalen Hurts is probably the toughest evaluation for me that I've ever done of a quarterback. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. And when you watch him, it doesn't look good. The motion is elongated. He makes really bad decisions throwing into coverage. When in doubt, find number 11.
Mm-hmm.
I said this at the draft 2 years ago when they traded for A.J. Brown. I said it in real time. That can fix practically every problem Jalen Hurts has.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've talked about how good he's been and all this, none of these things have changed. The evaluation when he was coming out of college and right now are very similar. Throwing motion still elongated. He runs at the first sign of danger. He sometimes runs himself into danger, but he is magical at getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give him a weapon like this that he can trust, he will force feed them the ball, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yep.
I learned more about Philadelphia. That is, I'm not going to say that I won't have the objections to when you play whoever you're going to play in the Super Bowl, if you get through San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a problem because he's too easy to scheme against in the back half. Because he doesn't read certain things well. And he can make just those catastrophic nightmare decisions. He had one last night.
Mm-hmm.
You got your foot on Miami's head, and he throws a pick six.
Mm-hmm.
I understand his arm's hit. I get that. Or his the
ball was tipped.
The ball was tipped.
Yeah.
I get that. You can't throw it into a guy's stomach.
Right. That pressure was all
That's one of those
over
that
him.
you just have to look at it and go, all right, I'm got here, and fall down.
Yeah. Or I don't know what the option is, but the option is never try to feed it through the guy's arms.
Because
the guy's all over him.
Yeah, there's no solution there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple people in the YouTube comments saying Teron Armstead was injured. He's always injured. This is the number one thing I said when you signed him is, yes, when he's on the field, he'll be just fine. The problem is that he's never healthy. So there's that. But did I look at last night and go, Miami's awful now? No. There are certain kind of teams that are really going to screw with the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that can shut you down running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. Good luck. That's how you lost to the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Because they made you one-dimensional.
Yep.
I don't want to see you get behind in spite of the fact that I know you can score points. Right now, you're the bully on the playground that picks on the little kid. When you beat a team that's any good, come talk to me. But I still would say you're in the top handful in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also say that handful behind you is much closer than you are to Kansas City or Baltimore.
Right.
That's what I learned.
Okay. All right. Miami, can they overcome? Yes. Yes, they can. But when they run into a team like this, it's going to make it very, very difficult for them to win games. Like, remember earlier in the season when remember when the Denver thing happened? What we all said after that, oh, now it's on because you can kill people twice. You can kill people two ways. Now you've got Devin Achane and Raheem Mostert doing the ground thing. Plus you've got the crazy air attack. It's great when all of that's working. Mm-hmm. When you can isolate one of those and mitigate that, it obviously becomes a different team.
Miami is the small, fast team that gets beaten by the big bully.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me draw a parallel that I've drawn with the Miami Dolphins for a long time. Miami has basically built an NFL offense the same way that the Golden State Warriors built a basketball team. Do you remember what happened in the beginning of that? Anybody that had a big guy would beat their brains out because you couldn't get a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
It took time.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all these three-point shooters. That's all well and good. None of them rebound particularly well. So when you play a big dude, he's going to hurt you. Well, that's kind of where you're at with Miami. You've built this team away from the ball to closest to the ball, and that's not always going to be gorgeous because you're killed on the offensive line, and when you're killed on the offensive line, Tua doesn't have as much time as he's used to.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a Hassan Reddick, you get a Jalen Carter, you get a Fletcher Cox that are in his face all night, and over time, that starts to wear on you. Now, your take on Tua Tagovailoa can't be the guy to win you games. I think that is one of the craziest things you've ever said.
You think so?
I would still say he's a top 8 quarterback in this league.
Mm-hmm.
What he was given last night, I'm not sure anybody could have done it any better. Hassan Reddick was demolishing them. And he was still getting balls off. Okay. He's throwing it to a spot, and you mark my words, that's going to burn you against a really good defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to figure out the secret elixir to you, and he's going to throw 3 or 4 picks in a game.
Mm-hmm.
But last night to me was not on Tua. And also, and I have to say this because Brian Hall came down the hall to tell us. It also wasn't on the officials because they don't choose for Christian Wilkins to line up with his head over the ball, which I think you learn when you're 6 years old.
Right.
He couldn't figure it out.
Right.
And then once you do it once, they're looking for it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So the penalty discrepancy, yeah, you got hosed on a face mask that should have been.
Yep.
I get it.
You did.
Even if you got that call, guess what would have still happened? You'd still lost
because
they were better than you.
31-17, final score. Philadelphia Eagles get the win, and that was one of the many losses of the weekend for Jeremy and I.
Yeah.
Because we had a boatload of them.
We didn't pick football games so good.
No,
but
we did not.
We have been asked in the YouTube chat to pick another one.
Okay.
I'm your huckleberry.
Gage Camplin asked San Francisco, Philadelphia, neutral field. Who wins? Are we assuming we're assuming full health here. Everybody's got all their dudes.
I would say full health Philadelphia.
I will say full health San Francisco.
Okay.
Now, here's the problem. And it's the reason that I wanted the caveat. San Francisco's never at full health.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most hurt team in the league and has been for years.
Mm-hmm.
You got them last year in the NFC Championship game. Their quarterback got hurt, 8 snaps into the game? So is there a possibility that you're going to have this all over again? Philadelphia is going to be the team with home field advantage, and you're missing somebody, and Philadelphia beats them again. Wouldn't shock me in the least.
But was that the problem that last year? We said over and over that wasn't the problem. We would have lost anyway. You would have lost with Brock Purdy anyway.
I agree.
And
I also think they're different right now than they were a year ago.
Yeah. I don't know if they're that different, though.
That's weird because they played tonight, and it's about time, I think, for me to give a pick on that game.
It is just about time for you to give a pick on that. We got bangers coming up after the break here. Monday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers, and the Minnesota Vikings. Jeremy's going to have his pick coming up for you. Also, we're going to have your chance later on in the program to go to the Asheville Championship, November 10th and the 12th. We've got tickets available. If you would like to go, we'll give you the cue to call, and you can give us a call here. You can go and check out the Asheville Championship, which is proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets. It's going to be at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, November 10th and 12th. We got Clemson, Maryland, UAB, and Davidson all participating in this year. It is the best field the tournament has had to date, and it's only getting better each and every year. So listen for the cue to call coming up later on here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Jeremy's Bangers next.
The season we've all been waiting for is here.
No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
College basketball is kicking off in Asheville with the Asheville Championship at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 10th and 12th, featuring the men's basketball teams from Clemson, Maryland, Davidson, and University of Alabama, Birmingham. The Asheville Championship is such an incredible way to bring quality college basketball to the fans of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Tickets on sale at AshevilleChampionship.com. Save your spot and cheer on your team at the Asheville Championship on November 10th and 12th.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, Advanced Regenerative Medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
Coffee still closes on. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Monday Night Football. All right, this is Kirk Cousins in primetime against one of the best teams in the NFL. This shouldn't take long. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. San Francisco 49ers are a 7-point favorite at the Minnesota Vikings, over under 43. San Francisco's coming off a loss where the offense didn't look good, but it was against a team that we thought was really good defensively until they gave up 478,000 yards and 58 points to a dude with a mullet. Defense is still good. It was a bad week. Don't overestimate and overreact to everything. San Francisco's still really good. I think they're one of the 2 best teams in the league. This should be easy against Kirk Cousins in primetime because death, taxes, Kirk Cousins in primetime. 3 things that you can always count on. Give me San Francisco minus the 7. I don't think this game's ever particularly close. I will go under the 43. Bad Kirk Cousins with no Justin Jefferson. I don't think they're going to contribute much to that number. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mullet out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and nice out here this afternoon. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Clear skies and chilly here tonight, low 40s. High pressure will continue to dominate our weather through the middle and end of the week. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures both afternoons reaching highs in the low part of the 70s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday and Friday. High temperatures both afternoons in the middle to even upper part of the 70s. I'm meteorologist
This
Ken
report
Boone.
is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG, hot and crisp nacho fries are back, and there's even more fries to love now at Taco Bell. But it's now or never. Yeah, these fries covered in bold Mexican spices with nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat, and you can watch us live here in the Ingles studio. It is an Overreaction Monday, and, well,
there's one game that if you want to overreact, you totally can.
The Baltimore Ravens just dump trucked the Detroit Lions 38-6. I did not see that coming. Yeah, you kept saying yesterday on the fantasy show that, Baltimore Ravens are just going to win, that run away with this one. And you were so adamant I had to play Lamar Jackson in fantasy, and thankfully I did, because that went very, very well.
Well, I said he was going to score 40, and he hit 38.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't totally right, but I was pretty daggum close.
You were pretty close.
That just felt. That's one of those games that you call it gambler's intuition. Of you just look at this and go, okay, the number here doesn't make sense. Detroit's coming in hot. Baltimore's been a little clunky. Lamar's going to have one of those Lamar games before it's all said and done. And then I looked at exactly how Detroit's defense functions, and I couldn't get away from it. This is the ideal scenario for them to boat race somebody. And they did.
And they did.
Now, what do you take from it? Let me start on the Detroit Lions side. Not nary a thing.
Nothing.
Jared Goff outside. I don't know how many times I have to say that before people go, oh, yeah, he is way better in a dome. And he plays a team in his division that's in a dome. And he played in L.A. in a dome. And it's just it's not hard to figure out.
Yeah.
This was a bad game for a team that was reading a lot of their own press. They were hearing how this was the greatest team in Detroit history. It still is, by the way. And you got. You got caught because you're not used to playing games like this. You know who is the team that's been relevant in the playoffs picture every single year for the last, 70? I'm pretty sure the Baltimore Ravens have been in the playoff hunt every year that they've been a franchise, outside of the one where they got Jonathan Ogden. This is a really good Ravens team. Are they as good as what we saw yesterday? No. Are the DetroitLions as bad as what we saw yesterday? No. But Baltimore did that thing that we needed to see them do. And I don't know how a team can be that hurt all the time and still have games like that. I don't know, because they're the only one that does it.
Right.
But that version of Lamar Jackson, that Ravens team's a headache. I mean, a real headache. I don't know if did you see the play call early? The first touchdown. So they hit a big one to Zay Flowers over the middle. They get down inside. They were inside like the 8-yard line. And they put Ronnie Stanley out at tight end. And he just eviscerates some poor little corner. I never saw who the corner was. But they literally told you exactly what they were going to do, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what this team is capable of.
Is the narrative coming out of the game that this is Lamar Jackson embracing the Todd Monken system? Is that accurate, or is that overblown?
I would say that's a little overblown. I mean, you hit an 80-yarder to Gus Edwards, which I'm pretty sure if we played this game out 5,000 times, you would not do that again.
Right.
But he was consistent to Zay. Zay Flowers is the number one receiver on that team, and it's not even close.
Agreed.
Odell Beckham Jr., you just set that money on fire. Because that dude
we told you it was going to happen.
100%. That dude has no burst, no nothing. He is just gassed. But he's a nice possession. He's a fine possession receiver. You got Mark Andrews really going yesterday in the red zone, as it was supposed to be. That's the version of that team that can play for a Super Bowl. Because they do things that nobody else does. Not having a running back is still a problem.
Oh, I believe that and agree with that. I was really shocked that the Detroit offensive line allowed as much pressure as they did. I wasn't sure that Baltimore had that gear.
Baltimore definitely has that gear. You just have to be careful. They're good as that good. Stephen Tout, one of our resident Ravens fans, said they did the same thing to the Browns. They are that good. They did that to the Browns with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And you still, if I remember correctly, didn't even break 300 yards of total offense. So kind of calm down on that Browns thing. What you did yesterday was incredibly impressive. It was also a very veteran, very mature team in a game that rolled downhill real fast. I mean, this is 28-0 at the half.
Yep.
To the point of Detroit had it at midfield and went, I don't want to go for this because if we mess around and give them the ball back, they might go down and score again with 40 seconds to go. You can't take the highest of high here and go, that's who they are. Because like Michael Mulcair said, consistency is the biggest problem. Baltimore has had this reputation for a really long time of they play down to who it is they are playing against. If they ever stopped that, I'm not sure they're not the second best team in the AFC. Power rankings come out tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and tell you there will be a number next to the Baltimore Ravens that is way higher than you expect it to be.
Yep.
Depending on how you look at higher. The number will be smaller. It'll be a little number.
Yes. Because this was the kind of game that you needed to see. You needed to see them go up against a team that we all believed in, that has a little hype, and be able to go, we've been here before. Because I think that we were at a point where the narrative was shifting, right, between these two teams. We were starting to ease up a little on the Ravens after the loss to the Steelers. Bounce back a little bit with the Titans, but this was a prove-it game. And you couldn't have asked for any better result. 38-6 is a massive statement. And it continues to show the gap between the AFC teams and the NFC teams.
Oh, yeah. You want me to make you a lot of money for the rest of the year? When you get interconference matchups, just take the AFC team, especially if it's not the 49ers or the Eagles.
That's where I was getting ready to say.
There's a lot of times I'll even lean to the AFC team against those two. Just depends on who it is. I got burned by that last night, but I got burned by a lot of things picking games.
Right.
And yet, I literally missed nothing telling you who to play. It's maddening. It's maddening. Sorry. That's a rant for another day.
Right.
The good of Lamar Jackson is still as good as anybody in this league not named Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have to remember. We forget that because you don't see it for extended periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that game and go, good Lord, why does he not do that every week? I don't have a good answer to that.
Yep.
I've never had a good answer to that because that was where I was headed with this. If Baltimore really wants me to believe, okay, you're the second or third best team in the AFC. They play at the Cardinals next week.
Mm-hmm.
You better beat them to death because this is the kind of game that you let a team hang around for way too long for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always been the but, is that you lose the game against the Colts, which doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It makes no sense. You lose a Steelers game that you had absolutely in hand. And why did you do it? Because you got cute. You got cute. You're inside the 10-yard line. You can put this game away, and you try to throw a back shoulder fade. Why?
Mm-hmm.
It's a well-coached team. It's a good team. I think it's a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see this more consistently.
Right. Consistency's always been the problem.
That's why they've hung around that 8, 9, 10 range for us basically the entire year.
But it's hard as hell to be consistent when you have so many injuries. And that's the thing that has made them inconsistent, right? It's not the inconsistency.
Not necessarily. There have been games where they were as healthy as they've been over the course of the last handful of years, and you still find a way to put up a grumper.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to elaborate on that a step further, you got guys that are hurt, so you're not practicing together as often. You're not on the same page. I get it. At some point, you're either going to have to get used to you built your stadium on an ancient Indian burial ground or something,
right?
Or you need a new medical team. I don't know which one, and I don't really care. You do this every year. So if you want to progress to that next step, you're going to have to figure out how to get consistent in spite of that. Because what I saw yesterday, there's not a team in the league that beats that.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw out of the Baltimore Ravens against the Detroit Lions, nobody is beating that because I don't even know how you're supposed to defend it. You got Zay Flowers that is the high flyer that you have missed since Hollywood Brown. He's not as fast as Hollywood Brown. He's an exponentially better receiver. Possession guy in Beckham, Rashad Bateman. Hey, he shows up and reminds you he's still on the roster every once in a while. And you've got one of the best tight ends in the league. That's a dynamic offense. And when it runs like that, and Lamar is running the ball, and you've got that dynamic, it really can keep you on your heels.
Yep. But you have to have that dynamic. But I think what yesterday also showed is that Lamar's getting better at the pocket presence thing. Working out of the pocket, he was really good yesterday. And I think he even set a record of being under duress. I think I read that earlier today, that he racked up more yards than any other quarterback under duress during the game, breaking a record that was set by Tom Brady like 10 years ago. To me, it's things like that that show that there is growth here, even though sometimes he might forget it or he forgets to put it on display. People always want to try to go back to that. Oh yeah, but Lamar Jackson, he's a running back playing quarterback. Well, at some point we have to give up these notions that we had 5 years ago.
Well, he's never going to be he'll never be an elite drop back and pass guy. If you can, and I've said the same thing about Justin Fields. If you don't let him do what got him here, then I don't know how to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you add that element to him with the arm he has, with the weapons they have, now he becomes a dynamic passer.
And I felt that was a lot of the problem under Greg Roman, was that Greg Roman got to a point where he tried to make him more of a pocket passer, where he limited those plays.
See, I feel like Roman steered too much into it was almost at times like they were running the triple option. And you're running the ball constantly, and you're never taking shots, especially after Hollywood Brown was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Monken, I almost felt like you tried to rein him in and keep him within the tackles. And that was why I was so convinced that yesterday was going to go the way it did, because there was no shot. Aiden Hutchinson was going to get home, and he did. And every time he did, Lamar looked around and went, oh, look, there's no one here.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started pulling in that linebacker, and that's exactly when you started getting popped over the top.
Right.
It's exactly how that play to Gus Edwards happened, because you were completely out of sorts defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And they caught you with the perfect play call at the perfect time. I thought it was a masterclass from John Harbaugh and both coordinators. I thought they did a great job. Now I just want to see that more consistently.
Mm-hmm. No worries for the Detroit Lions here, though?
It depends on what you mean by worry. Do I think they're the team that went out and got beat 38-6? No, I think they're a team that got down 14-0, got discouraged. Play call became way too reliant on Jared Goff. I mean, I love Ben Johnson. You know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, that was partly on you. Because you became super one-dimensional the minute you got behind. And he's an inexperienced play caller. You gotta remember that. You got two coordinators here who have been doing this for, let's see, grand total 23 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to do, especially when you're going up against somebody in John Harbaugh that's done this for a long, long time. And he just got. Dan Campbell, I didn't love some of the things he said in the postgame of, our energy was great. Well, your energy might have been fine, but your execution left a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
This is a burn the film game. And
it's also one of those punch you in the mouth games, right?
That every team like this needs.
5-2. You're feeling.
Now, that was a little over the top for the punch you in the mouth.
Well, I mean, every now and then, though, you need that come back down to earth game to make you realize that we're not infallible.
This is also a really well-timed loss like this, because you play the Raiders on Monday Night Football next primetime next week. Just walk the dog. Walk the dog, take your wife to dinner, just turn the television off. We're too committed to screens.
Go to bed early, catch up on your sleep.
Take a nap, have some melatonin.
Wow. So we got Bills and Bucks on Thursday.
Yes.
What was the Sunday night game?
Chargers-Bears.
Chargers-Bears, and then you got the Raiders and the Lions.
3 interconference games in primetime, and they're all 3 awful. But if you're Dan Campbell, you're in the facility. The first shot you get to talk to these guys. We got to go out and show that who we were yesterday is not who we are.
Yep.
We go out next week, and we hurt the Raiders' feelings. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I am encouraged that they figured out, hey, this Jahmyr Gibbs kid, he's really good at football, and we should give him the ball way more often, even in a blowout.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. It is an Overreaction Monday. We'll be right back. The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast. With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Follow us everywhere at the Sportsocracy. Overreaction Monday.
Here's not an overreaction.
Yeah. Okay.
Our buddy Armchair Commentary just joined in the chat.
Uh-huh.
That's your reigning, defending Battle of the Belt champion. And he beat me by 3 points at the horn.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, we were the two that were giving you fantasy advice, and we were the ones that finished 1-2.
Good for you.
So, it's a good day. It's a good day to have a good day. Good day to have a good day.
Yeah.
Especially after I got burned on a 11-leg parlay that I must have been just under the bar when I made, because I do not remember hitting that button. And it stayed alive for way too long.
Uh-huh.
Got burned on Florida State and Clemson. Florida State under Clemson.
Yeah.
Actually winning a game. Sorry, Dabo. I expected too much of you. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later, too.
We'll get to that, I'm sure, in the daily draft coming up, stock stock down of the weekend. Okay. I just saw this come across my screen here, and is this correct? No active quarterback in the NFL has more losses than Justin Herbert since he was drafted in 2020. That doesn't seem possible.
No, because there's Zach Wilson that was drafted the year after, and I feel like he should have a mess.
Yeah, but how many games did he start, right? So this is...
Justin Herbert's 27 and 28.
28 losses. This says is the most losses for any active quarterback since he was drafted in 2020. Seems like a stretch, but it's not completely unbelievable.
That stat is, of active quarterbacks, yes. He is tied with Russell Wilson and Derek Carr. He is 2 ahead of Justin Fields, who keeps getting hurt, or he would be leading this stat. Daniel Jones, or is that Mac Jones? Daniel Jones.
Ooh.
Daniel Jones, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff.
But he's such a generational quarterback.
No, he's not. You call it an overreaction, you call it whatever you want. Justin Herbert's not a generational quarterback. And you know when I really see it? When he goes up against a generational quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that old Cat Williams line of talking about a Chrysler 300. Yeah, it looks like a Phantom until a Phantom drives by. And then it doesn't. It looks like a Chrysler 300.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good quarterback. I really do. He's a top 10 quarterback in the league. I don't know that he's ever going to be more than that.
Yeah.
He forces a lot. It has always been off-putting to me that he could not get on the same page with Josh Palmer. And I know all of you think that I'm too high on Josh Palmer. Yesterday. You see what I'm talking about now? You get number one work and you get number one production because that's the player that he is. I feel like with Herbert, he holds on to the ball too long. And there are too many times that I see throws. And look, I know the hand is bothering him. I get all of that. This isn't new.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
He has been consistently inconsistent. And I want to blame all this on the coach. Because I don't know that there's ever been an NFL coach that I believed less in than Brandon Staley.
Right. Nathaniel Hackett.
No, he's made Zach Wilson.
Vance Joseph.
Nathaniel Hackett did something that no other coordinator's ever done. He made Zach Wilson look competent.
Right.
So, yeah, he's past Brandon Staley. At this point, I trust Taco Bell before church more than I trust Brandon Staley. Yeah, old Rich Kotite. We don't say that name here. That's a bad word here. I don't know that you're ever going to see it. I'm really curious to know who the next coach of this team will be because it's not going to be Brandon Staley.
No.
Because the Chargers, and I'm just curious to see if you agree with me here, they're done like dinner.
Yeah. You can't keep doing this, right?
Well, I mean, I've been putting
because there are very few teams and very few games that you can go into where I go, yep, you're going to pull that one off. Because you could go up against any team in this league and I'll go, you know what? There's a chance. There's a chance that at the end of this game, you're going to have a big play from Justin Herbert to make this work, and he might hit it. Chances are he's probably not gonna.
Well, worst case scenario, we've said 10-7 makes the playoffs in the AFC.
Yes,
it's not going to be any less than
no.
that. Well, you're already sitting on 4 losses. You still have a game at the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a game with the Lions. You still have a game with the Ravens. You still have one with the Bills. You have another one with the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good you are at math, but that math don't math.
No.
So I am officially
you gotta
ready.
Win what, 2 of those?
You got to win 2 of those and every game you're supposed to win, including in Lambeau the week before Thanksgiving, of which, based on what I saw from the Packers yesterday, I left that out for a reason.
I mean, that's a tough place to play.
Unfortunately, they have a lot of Jordan Love on the other side that you don't have to score many points. It's not a lot.
Right.
Just you score a few, and they probably cannot do that.
Yeah, that's not going well. That's not going well at all.
I feel like Justin Herbert is exactly who I thought he was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
He's better, but he's not elite.
He's way better than I thought he was going to be because I thought he was unmitigated bust territory. But I don't think he's ever going to be MVP, superstar, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. We'll never look at him in that same light.
Oh, you know who he's going to be?
Josh Allen.
Dan Fouts. Oh, you know what else he's going to be? Drew Brees in San Diego. Oh, you know what else he's going to be? Phillip Rivers. They're all the same guy.
Yeah.
You can put up stats. What does it matter? Do you win big games? No,
you don't.
In large part, the answer with the quarterbacks of this team are no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alex Majabi, who is a Chargers fan, said we paid him $260 million. I don't even know how to feel about it. You should feel like you have a franchise quarterback. You're going to be in the top 10 of quarterbacks every single year. The problem is that you're going to be way closer to 10 than to 1.
Mm-hmm.
The other problem is that you've got Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, a slew of guys in your conference. They're going to be better than you until the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like this is the Dan Marino syndrome all over again.
I mean, unless you find better coaching, right? You got to find better coaching. You got to find somebody that can get the talent out of this team because Brandon Staley's not it.
Well, who is that guy?
I don't know. I don't know if
that's my problem.
I don't know if that's Jim Harbaugh. I don't know if
well, Jim Harbaugh, I'll go ahead and tell you, those stats are going to go away because he runs the ball a lot. And you know what? Maybe it's what you need. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need somebody that has some balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because yesterday, you had Josh Kelly rip off a 49-yard touchdown. Other than that, you take that one run away, you really didn't do squat.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Eckler, that's supposed to change everything. 3 yards a carry.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, I don't know if he's hurt still. I don't know what it is. But the Chargers are done like dinner. And the sheer fact that I haven't gotten that alert yet that Brandon Staley's been fired. Because the only thing at this point that you can tie it to is that they don't want to pay another coach.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to pay – because this is a notoriously cheap franchise that just paid a lot of money to Justin Herbert. I can't figure out how else you're looking at this. Going, we're going to keep doing this.
And what happened to Kellen Moore is going to change things. We were trying to think of how does this team get better? Well, Kellen Moore coming in, we thought that was going to make the offense better, but it hasn't. It hasn't really made the offense any better. And it damn sure hasn't made the defense any better because the defense keeps losing them the games. I mean, I get it was Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Here's my question. How in the world were you scared of anything but Travis Kelce yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rashee Rice, he a dog. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, is that who's really taking the – because there were times that Travis Kelce was just running in the middle of the defense and going, I'm going to stop right here.
Yep.
This looks good because there's nobody within 15 yards of me.
He does that to so many teams, though.
I
don't see how it happens.
I don't either. I understand him running through a dude.
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand him running to a spot and just going, yeah, I think I'll camp out right here. This looks like a good spot.
I don't know how you lose a guy like that.
He looks like an old fella out in the woods just going, yep, I think we'll set up camp right here.
But so many teams seem to, and it's I guess it's a lot has to go into the schematics, the play calling, the play drawing up, play construction, whatever you want to call it, of Andy Reid to be able to get him open.
Armchair, who like me won a sizable amount yesterday.
I'm your huckleberry.
He gets a double for a very sizable super chat.
Indeed.
It says Brady and Manning were generational quarterbacks. We also had Rivers, Big Ben, Breeze, etc. All those other guys who were good top 10 quarterbacks during their prime but aren't generational. Herbert is Phillip Rivers with far fewer kids.
Far fewer kids. Mm-hmm.
I see no lies told in that.
Yep. But there's also, in my opinion, nothing wrong with that. Because Phillip Rivers could have been a championship quarterback, right? He just needed something extra.
Well, a mouse could be a bat if it had wings. But
yeah, exactly. But what is that extra thing that the Chargers need? Is it better
at some point you have to look from the top down and go, you've been doing this since 1970-something. That would be the part that I can't get away from.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you got one of us here who's a Jets fan, one of us here who's a Buccaneers fan. You've had 4 better quarterbacks than anything we have ever seen collectively in terms of talent.
Yes.
You have won bupkis. There has to be a reason for that. And I feel like it comes from the ownership and their notoriously cheap ways. It's also really unsettling that every home game you play is a road game. You don't have home games because you had to get into that big, sweet stadium. It's a horrible disadvantage. It's a horrible disadvantage, and it's never going to get better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could get better.
How? Give me the how.
You have to win. You have to win, right? You have to win a championship. You have to come through. You have to be consistent winners to be able to get eyeballs in the market, right?
And that's what I'm saying, is that you're a team that plays 17 road games a year.
Yeah.
And you expect to win titles that way. No. It's just not going to happen. Justin Herbert is a good, not great quarterback. He is a high end, very, very. He would be in the Hall of very good, but he's not the Hall of Famer you want to make him out to be. And every time you see him in these big games, just think back to the playoff game. He was special in the first half. He was worthless in the second half. That and a lot of it falls on coaching. There is a big part of me that wishes Sean Payton had held out for a year and waited for this job, which, according to everything I've been told, this is the job he wanted. But now I don't know who that offensive guru is supposed to be.
Because you got one.
Allegedly.
We were told you had one. And he hasn't done a great job with it. Of course, we were told the same thing about the Washington Commanders, and he hasn't done a great job there either. Or their guru hasn't done a great job there either. So I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to give it to him because I want this team to be good. You're so good on paper. Why can't you be good and consistent and win?
And that's why
it all
comes
back to Brandon Staley.
And that's why I'm going to say I'm not going to tell you that he will never be elite. I can tell you he's not elite right now.
Yes.
And it's going to take a whale of a coach to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of Jim Harbaugh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I mean, I look around the landscape right now going, okay, our buddy Ben Johnson, if he gets that job, he's still a first-time head coach. He's still a first-time head coach that has to find a coordinator to work with that defense. There's a lot of impediments to that. And I love Ben, and I think he would do a great job. I don't know if that'd make him elite.
Mm-hmm.
He took a battered prospect in Jared Goff and made him very good. And then you see the grumper he threw out there yesterday and go, well, that's really the problem of Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that if Jim Harbaugh told me no, Ben Johnson's my no doubt second call.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Yep.
And I'm going to get an offensive guy for a franchise quarterback. And just for the posterity's sake, because I have to say this anytime it comes up because I've watched this fail so many times. When you draft an elite prospect, a top 10 quarterback, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't hire a defensive coach because that is stupid. And it's failed
every time.
1,000 times.
Right. Pretty much every time it's ever happened. Armchair Commentary said that L.A. is just spoiled by the Lakers. You're right. They are spoiled by the Lakers.
No, L.A. is spoiled by – it's L.A.
Right.
Because when they walk out their front door, you know what they are? L.A.
Mm-hmm.
It's 72 degrees there today.
But we only care.
I didn't have to look at that. I just know that because it's what it is every single day.
Right, but we only care if you're winning.
And even then, the minute you're not winning, they're gone.
Absolutely. They were there for the run for the Chargers or for the Rams, right? They win the Super Bowl, and then not so much because they took a step back. Hey, this is the most LA-built team ever, right?
Yeah,
I mean, think about where the Dodgers are right now. All that high-priced talent can't win it all, right? The only time you won it all was during the coronavirus year.
Is baseball still a thing? Like,
Are
we not done with that?
Los Angeles Lakers pouring all this money into the roster, and you only had the coronavirus title.
Have the Creed Bangers won the World Series yet?
Not yet.
Call me when they do.
Not yet. L.A. Clippers, same thing. Pouring all this money into it, can't win. It's the most L.A. thing ever. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And when we come back, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville. Sunny and nice out here this afternoon. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Clear skies and chilly here tonight, low 40s. High pressure will continue to dominate our weather through the middle and end of the week. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures both afternoons reaching highs in the low part of the 70s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday and Friday. High temperatures both afternoons in the middle to even upper part of the 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Now, you can relive the greatest moments from our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Lenny Kravitz kicks things off with his biggest hits.
Foo Fighters get the whole crowd singing along.
Tim McGraw debuts his new song live.
Public Enemy brings the 90s hip-hop energy.
Fall Out Boy covers a classic while literally on fire. And so much more.
Relive the greatest moments from our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming now only on Hulu for a limited time.
Tired of a job with no spark? Then join Emery Electric, the Southeast's premier electrical contractor. Competitive pay, a supportive team, and career growth await. Power up your career. Visit EmeryElectric.com/careers. That's EMORY Electric.com.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Mana Food Bank. Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals from manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird. And Jeremy, there is there's one thing that your favorite beverage of choice has always been linked to. If you have a beer that you don't like, what does it taste like?
Urine.
Yeah, that's the one. I like how you were choosing your words there perfectly.
Well, because there's another word that I usually say there that I don't know if I'm allowed to say on the radio box.
Have you ever had, I'm not big on the import beers, so I don't know if this is readily available here in the United States of America, but Tsingtao beer from China? I feel like I've seen it before.
I don't know.
But I'm not sure. Anyway, the company.
Most of the beverages I consume end in light. What's the first word? I don't care.
Maybe they make a Tsingtao Light. I don't
Who
know.
knows?
The company, Tsingtao Beer, has launched an investigation, and there's one of their employees he's no longer an employee, and he's in a lot of hot water because a video went viral on their social media, Weibo, their social media website.
It's a really ironic name based off where I think this story's headed.
Yes, Weibo. One of China's biggest beer makers said that it had opened an investigation after a video appeared to show a factory employee climbing to the top of a high-walled container and then relieving himself on the raw contents of which were about to be made into Tsingtao beer.
He had to take a Weibo.
He did. He had to go Weibo, and he decided to do it apparently on all of the barley that was in the container getting ready to get mixed up. Of course, this went viral, and it got tens of millions of views. And they say that, now they're having to shut everything down. Like, because as you would, right? How many times has this happened? How much of a concern does that become for you?
For me?
I feel like this should not, this should not be, you should not be capable of this. We should not just, I don't know how to protect it, but keep that stuff in a covered something to keep just any random worker from roaming up there in the middle of a shift and just deciding, you know what, I'm just going to ruin this entire batch.
I'm not the most liked person you've ever met in your life.
Uh-huh.
So I just assume I have consumed some things that I didn't want to. And I'm mentally okay with that. As long as I don't know.
Yeah.
And if I find out, I'm going to do crimes.
Mm-hmm. So as long as you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
I guess. Okay.
It's like Schrodinger's cat.
All right. Well, I'm glad at least the company has decided we don't need to hide this and just produce it anyway.
And look, at this point, I'm bypassing doing crimes at an alarmingly high rate for me, which means I'm due. My story is about The Bachelor. Apparently, we're doing something called The Bachelor in Paris, or in Paradise, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were on the old Bachelor. Weren't we doing the Oldman Bachelor?
Yeah, they're still doing that.
So we're doing two of these at the same time?
I guess. And I think they split them up now. I don't even know that I think there's one that's not even on television. Like there's one on Netflix and then there's one on TV. I don't know.
Why?
Why do people watch chicks watch it. We're watching football. They have to watch something, and there's no creativity going on in the industry right now. So it's like, hey, you know what? Let's go some reality shows.
Go at Sports Tank on that one. At Sports Tank ESPN if you want to use the Twitter box.
What did I say?
Oh, you know. What? You'll find out soon enough. My story's about 27-year-old Sam Jeffries. She was a contestant on The Bachelor in Paradise. And The Bachelor never actually eschewed her off the show. She had to be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Would you care to take a stab at why she had to be removed?
Coronavirus.
No.
Oh.
Although apparently that is still a thing.
It is. And, you know.
I don't.
My parents have it now, and I'm like, oh, great. Yay.
She had been in Paradise for 10 days, and there was something that she had not done. She had not gone number 2. And that's really unsettling to people in the medical community.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave her a deadline. Now, the reason that this is funny to me is because the 9th day, that was the deadline. Today, morning of day 10 was if the progression has not been made, you must be removed, along with something else.
Yeah.
She went on a date with the guy that night. Would you like to guess what they did on the date? He brought her coffee, olive oil, and took her for Mexican food.
Nice.
That's a man that was really trying to get this woman to stay on this show. Hey, she is gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous.
We're going to clean you out tonight.
I mean, that is the solution. You want to get ratings? Just put 20 beautiful women on a show. Mm-hmm. People watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to watch it.
No, not a
Because
chance.
I don't care. I would have watched The Old Bachelor just to make jokes.
Good for you.
I totally would have.
Oh, you're talking about the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, the Oldman.
Oh, okay.
The Oldman with a bajillion
I thought you were
dollars.
talking about watching old episodes of The Bachelor.
No,
I'm definitely not going back to watch the old ones. I'm not even watching the new ones.
No, I would have watched the Oldman Bachelor. Oh, look. He and Dolores are going on their third date, sharing a Metamucil and a malted milkshake.
According to
I don't want to know. I don't know where you're headed with this. I don't want to know.
According to Mark Starling, you would be mortified.
Oh, no doubt.
By the things that these old ladies are saying about this gent. Just thirsty grandmas.
Well, I'm going to say
That's gross.
Nope, I'm not going to do that. If you know what I said when I campaigned for Brian Daboll to win Coach of the Year, you know where I was headed with this.
Please.
That's
please
why
say it.
That's why you listen to the show.
Please say it. He's not going.
I'm going to factor it in somewhere else that the FCC can't get angry about.
About bringing these two stories together. Wow. Yeah, Bachelor. Stupid idea.
Get your ratings. Don't know why, but it does. Yeah. You know what else I don't understand?
What's that?
Why are officials so bad at their jobs?
Well, I mean, what do you want? What do you want us to be good?
There were multiple times. How does Kenny Pickett, you're not even close, bro. You're a yard short of this. Nope, first down. Oh, no. And every time it happens, I go, and the Kooky Madookies are coming out of the woodwork in 5, 4, 3, bing.
Oh, look, every call goes for the Chiefs.
Hey, you did my eye cross.
I
did. You shouldn't do that. Although somebody should clip that, and I promise I won't use it for nefarious reasons.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I totally will. The one I heard a lot was the Colts.
Okay.
But those were penalties. Like, that's what you don't seem to be understanding is those were penalties. Were they good penalties? No. Had they been called that way the entire game? No. That would be my objection. They were penalties. I'm more stuck on the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get rid of this like now?
Why?
It is the most unwatchable crap I've ever seen in my life.
It only lasts one play.
You're not wrong.
Right. Like
you're not wrong.
It's 2 seconds of, touchdown. All right, let's go.
Well, and now you've got Nick Sirianni that's walking around like he just reinvented the wheel going, well, it's actually 1st and 9 because we know if I get took our jobs.
True. No,
you know when this is going to go away? And I'm telling you right now, it's coming.
When somebody gets killed.
I'm calling my shot on this. Right? When somebody got hurt yesterday. Bears-Raiders game, Bears tried to run it with a special Bagent man and a defensive tackle for the Raiders, gone. You're going to get a quarterback killed doing this. Because the Eagles, and Philadelphia's exactly right, you're doing this well.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is not. And it's going to get a guy just absolutely demolished before this is all said and done. They were adding up, I saw on Twitter, they were adding up how much weight was actually on Jason Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize that you can do that until you can't do that, right?
You can only do that so many times.
And you can say that I'm out on this because my team doesn't do it. Well, here's the thing, and I mean this to the depths of my soul. Eagle fans, I love some of you, and some of you irritate me very badly. My team already beat yours, so I don't really care what you do. Sorry, I had to get the dig in. This play is, if you're going to stick with this, the player health and player wellness and all those things, you can't let this continue. I mean, this is like Nancy Reagan said about porn, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't need to tell you the dynamics of this to tell you that this is not something you should be continuing to do. If I wanted to watch rugby, I'd watch rugby. I've gotten to the point I'd rather watch Taylor Swift touchdown dances than the tush push. And I don't know how well you know me, that's real low on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be the Golden Bachelor than watch Taylor Swift do anything else ever again.
Right. No, I'm completely on the other side of you on this one. I mean, you could change the rule. And you know what? I'm not going to be an advocate for you to change the rule. They've figured out a way to scam the NFL, basically. This is the free space on the wheel. Philadelphia's figured out to do it.
Until it's not.
Well, I mean, they've figured out to do it better than anybody else, and they're going to keep doing it until you make it illegal.
And you'll make – this is one of those times that I'm trying to protect you from yourself. NFL. You're going to make a whole mess of headlines here when one of these guys gets hurt real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to happen. You mark my words. I'm not trying to call my shot on an injury. I'm also not a moron. You get 7 dudes that are going this low at each other, somebody's going to get caught in one of those piles. And if it's a quarterback, you are going to get demolished over this for months and months and months to come.
But will the league get demolished over it?
No doubt, because you didn't step in. This is one of those rules. You should be. I heard Sean Salisbury say this earlier. You should be calling an emergency meeting to outlaw this before you get sued over it. Because I'm telling you, it's coming. This is not hard math to figure out. You have 220-pound quarterbacks that are getting pushed from both directions, laying on top of 300-pound men with 7 300-pound men trying to prevent them from going where they're going. I don't know how good you are at physics, but there's going to come a time, especially with Jalen Hurts doing this little crowd surfing thing that he seems to be doing now, you're going to get caught on top of that, have somebody pushing you one way, somebody pushes you the other way, and something Joe Theismann snaps.
Yep.
You mark my words that I said it. You can call me an idiot. You can call me whatever you want to. I'm going to pin this on our Instagram and just wait for it to happen so I can go, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't hard to figure out. It's unwatchable, but if it wasn't so easy to predict how this ended, I probably wouldn't have the same aversion to it. I think the Wildcat's incredibly stupid. It's not getting anybody hurt. So, okay, keep doing it. We'll just figure it out.
Yep.
If this keeps going for long enough, guess what? We're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I don't know how you figure it out.
Yep.
Somebody will.
Well, Christian Wilkins thinks it's lining up on the other side of the ball.
Well, that's the way that you don't have to run it, because we can just blow the play dead because he's trying to play H-back for the Philadelphia Eagles.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's got his favorite parlay of the night coming up next for Monday Night Football. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
The Sportsocracy. We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair!
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
It's so cool to find a space where I can talk about my daughter's ADHD.
I finally feel safe knowing other parents are going through the exact same thing.
Raising a child with ADHD or dyslexia can feel isolating, but you're not alone. Find your community on the Wonder app by understood.org. With Wonder, you can exchange tips with parents facing similar challenges and get expert advice all in one place. Some kids are wired differently, but all kids can thrive with the right support. Download Wonder today or visit understood.org/iHeart to learn more.
Sarles Garage and Service is your one-stop car care, offering alignments, oil changes, brakes, North Carolina inspections. Call 926-0385 to schedule your appointment with excellent customer service to handle all your automotive needs. Enjoy a delicious meal while you wait at J Creek Cafe. Michael Sarles Marathon, your one-stop shop servicing Waynesville and Maggie Valley.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingles Markets.
Favorite parlay of the night for Monday Night Football. San Francisco 49ers, Minnesota Vikings. In the first hour, I gave you that I am taking the 49ers minus the 7, under the 43. There's not a lot to love in this game. I'm taking a couple anytime touchdown scores, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. I'm looking at no Deebo Samuel, saying that probably would lend itself to more work for George Kittle, who has been disappointing statistically, and they will try to get him on the right track. I will also take Christian McCaffrey. I understand he's hurt. I understand he probably shouldn't be playing in this game, but all the dude does is score touchdowns, and he's going to do it again tonight. I'm also going to throw a little prop on over 239.5 passing yards for Brock Purdy. I feel like this is a game where Kyle Shanahan may try to prove he's still the guy you thought he was 2 weeks ago, and you may see more of him especially with a limited Christian McCaffrey. You put all those together, put 5 on it just like I am, and that would pay out $160 hairs if I'm right at plus 3,100. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and nice out here this afternoon. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Clear skies and chilly here tonight, low 40s. High pressure will continue to dominate our weather through the middle and end of the week. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures both afternoons reaching highs in the low part of the 70s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday and Friday. High temperatures both afternoons in the middle to even upper part of the 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube, live in the Ingles studio. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. And it is an Overreaction Monday. And always on the Overreaction Monday, top of the third hour of the program, is the Daily Draft. And it's stock up, stock down from the weekend. I'll go first here. Stock up for the weekend. I don't know if I want to go stock up here. We always got to start with the stock downs because the stock downs to me are...
The stock downs are a lot more fun.
Yeah, they're the juicier ones. So, stock down of the weekend.
You got a lot of college choices.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from. And I think I got to stick at home. I got to go Mr. Homer. Because to me, ain't nary one loss bigger in college football this weekend than it was for the North Carolina Tar Heels. What the was that? You were supposed to boat race Virginia. You had a 1-5 team come into your house, and you couldn't beat them. Absolutely atrocious. It's the same old thing every stinking year. Mm-hmm. And people ask me, how did you become a Georgia fan for football? This is why. Because first off, I only got to see 2 good years of this team, or 3 or 4 good years as a kid with this team.
Well, I'll always maintain that means you're not really a fan. 30-year Jet fan here. You want to go blow for blow with stories? Because you'll be out, and I won't even be out of breath yet.
I ain't going to do it. I can't do it. I cannot invest in this anymore.
I watched it, and I still don't understand.
I mean, I can't, I'm not disowning the team, but, you do this every year. You build us up till you think there's something to hope for. And our expectations are tempered. We're not expecting you to win a national championship, but, I want you to at least threaten. I want you to at least win the damn games that you're supposed to win. Right, if you'd have rolled through all of this and then just lost to Florida State, or you lost a close one to Notre Dame, or a school worth even competing against. But this is Virginia, for God's sakes.
Yeah, that's what you did.
It's just terrible.
Well.
And every year we have this to fall back on and go, well, it was fun while it lasted, now we're irrelevant.
I'm dumbfounded that you stuck in the poll as high as you did. That really just tells me how bad the second tier of college football is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want me to give you the rosy outlook, you play Georgia Tech, then you play Campbell, then you finish out with Duke. Riley Leonard got hurt against Florida State again.
Mm-hmm.
Then you play Clemson and NC State. You could run the table and still catch that smacking in the ACC championship game.
It'd be great.
From my Florida State Seminoles, your 2023 college football playoff champions.
Right.
This is going to be, I'm telling you, it's a year, Jeremy.
He's speaking it into existence
Raising
again.
that Nuggets title tomorrow night. I already got one. Just need 2 more.
Is it opening night already?
Tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not that anybody cares, but.
No.
Yeah. You know when the NBA starts? When the NFL stops. And then after free agency and the draft, which is just about in time for the last 2 rounds of your playoffs.
Yeah. And by that point, the Hornets have already been eliminated for 3 months, so I don't care.
You know what's funny? I actually got a memo. They actually were just eliminated today.
Thank you.
It's a weird story.
Now I don't even have to bother with opening night.
A weird story. They didn't even have to play a game. They were already eliminated. My biggest, I got 2, and both of mine are in college.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest unequivocal stock down, Dabo Swinney.
Oh.
Are you starting to get it? Do you believe me now? Those things that I've said for a handful of years of the good times ain't going to roll forever. Because I'm seeing a problem with old Fievel, and it's manifested itself. And you know why? Because your quarterback is mediocre. You have really one dynamic playmaker, and your defense isn't very good. And then it's not even the loss to Miami. Miami's 5-2. By the way, thank you for letting them win so they can come to Tallahassee and get their hat handed to them because we need all the good wins we can get. It's not even that. It's Dabo Swinney then going to the podium and basically putting this on everybody but himself.
Really?
Let me make this as perfectly clear as humanly possible. I am a man that grew up in the 90s with Florida State. And I knew there's a possibility that we could have a bad year. And that bad year would be 10-2. But I was a young man and I was a dumb man. And I didn't realize that these things don't last forever and you have to evolve. Well, at the time, Florida State had a coach that was in his 70s. So it was kind of difficult to evolve that way.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo Swinney's 53 years old. He has shown absolutely no willingness to adapt to anything in the college game. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I was the father or the recruit listening to him talk, and you're competing with Mike Norvell, and you're competing with Kirby Smart, hell, I'll go a step further. You're competing with Shane Beamer. It looks a lot more fun to play for them than it does for you. And it's not even kind of close. I told you this ride would come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
It's come to an end. And I'm going to go one step further. Clemson could. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they could. If you look at the schedule, this is a team that could end this year 6-6, and I'm not sure they're better than that. And guess what? You're going to be worse next year. Florida State keeps getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Miami is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
There are a slew of teams. North Carolina's recruiting at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're not going to have the quarterback next year. I hate to break this to Clemson Tiger fans, and I hate to be the first one that has the cojones to say it to you, but then again, I've been saying it for 2 years, so it shouldn't be shocking that it's me. The ride's over. It's done. It is done. Now, the question is, what is the best thing that can happen to you? Keep losing. Keep losing. Because I want you to ask yourself this question. Name me a high major program that has a coach that it looks less appealing to play for than Dabo Swinney. Jim Harbaugh, you think that looks bad? He's out here. He's out here doing touchdown celebrations with you in the end zone.
Yeah, no.
Publicly defying the NCAA. Ryan Day, fiery in your face. My guys are tough. My guys are good. And you disrespected us to Lou Holtz. Mike Norvell with the little turquoise. Everybody on the sideline for some reason was wearing that turquoise hoodie. I didn't have the sound up, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
I frankly, I didn't need anything that competed with my yelling. And for the first half, there was a lot of that. And then you get to Dabo. Little old khakis with his polo tucked in. We believe in principles around here. Well, here's a principle. This is going to keep getting worse until you figure out that this game has changed. Mm-hmm. And if you don't figure it out, you're not going to be the coach at Clemson within the next 15 months. I'm not going to say it'll happen this year. I will definitively say when this happens again next year, you're going to be looking for a new coach because you set an expectation and you can't pay it off.
Mm-hmm.
Felt good. That felt good. That felt cathartic. And now, you know what? I think I'm going to double down and I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
Stock down to old Caleb Williams.
Oh.
Man, ain't it funny? You know, I swear, ain't it funny that I told you every time he plays the top 25 defense, all of a sudden he doesn't look like that fella anymore now, does he? You know what he looks like? A mediocre prospect. Because that's what he is. Last week, I wasn't ready to say, I don't know that I would take him at number one. Now I'm willing to go many steps further. I think they're both landmines.
Really?
Drake May and Caleb Williams. You're going to have to go to the right situation. Here's the problem. You're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at if you look at the draft order of the teams that are going to be drafted here. Right now, you got the Chicago Bears at 1. That's a place where quarterbacks go to die and has been for 35 years. Arizona's at 2. You got a defensive head coach. But I feel like they're sticking with Kyler, which, by the way, I will admit, Kyler Murray does at least deserve, as a former number 1 pick, the autonomy to play for a coach that's not Cliff Kingsbury before I call him a bust. Mm-hmm. I will admit I was wrong on that, which I don't do lightly. But I will admit, you are right. He deserves the ability to play for another coach because Cliff Kingsbury was that bad. 3's the Chicago Bears. Same dumpster fire I was just talking about. 4 is the Denver Broncos, which might be more of a dumpster fire than the Bears. The Giants, the New England Patriots. It's a long fall to get to Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, replace Kirk Cousins. So you're taking 2 prospects that I have now seen over the course of the last handful of weeks, enough for me to raise red flags about. Meanwhile, I'm looking around the rest of the top of this draft going, Marvin Harrison's the number 1 wide receiver I've ever graded ever. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's ahead of Jamar Chase. He's ahead of every guy I have ever evaluated, and it's not really all that close. Looking at the other high-end players in this, Ola Fashanu, high-end left tackle, many years. Could be Jonathan Ogden. That's how good he could be. Joe Alt, I feel the same way about him. Brock Bowers, best tight end I've ever evaluated. Jared Verse, elite edge rusher. Latu from UCLA. I'm not gonna butcher his first name.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got the pronunciation guide yet, so you a dog. Yeah. I just don't 100% know how to pronounce your first name. Also, elite edge rusher. Got 2 more receivers in this class. Keon Coleman, Roma Dunza. Excuse me. That name will always screw with me because the first 5 letters of his name are Romeo.
Yep.
Those are all franchise players. I'm not sure Caleb Williams is, and I'm not sure Drake May is. But until you can beat a team that is competent defensively, by the way, Fox, thanks for picking up my graphic. I did the legwork for you on that one, and it was exactly right. When he plays top 25 defenses, he is not even a good prospect. He is mediocre at best. Now, am I telling you he's not talented? No, I'm not. Do I know the offensive line is terrible? Yeah, I do. I know the defense is terrible too. And I'm not so sure that Lincoln Riley's a great coach. But I can tell you all of those things together, I don't see a dynamic prospect the way I have seen with Trevor Lawrence. Because, secret time, Dabo Swinney's not a great coach either. He had weapons. He had a few offensive linemen. They put guys in the league, and they were fine. He dominated at Clemson. That's a generational prospect. You want to know when you come along with a generational prospect, when you can get a guy at Stanford that has never won and never really had high-level outside weapons outside of Christian McCaffrey? You want to go down the list of receivers Andrew Luck had at Stanford? Oh, yeah, it's a short list, especially if we're talking about their NFL exploits. Now look at what Caleb Williams has had. Starting to see my point.
Yep.
Because this is now another running back you have that's going to be drafted highly. You had a first-round receiver go last year. You've got a young freshman who, I'm not going to lie to you, is probably going to be a top 10 pick 2 years from now, Zachariah Branch. You got all the talent in the world. And then you go up against Utah, who's playing their backup quarterback, and you looked undraftable to me for 60 minutes. And then there's the other side of that, where you're sitting on the bench just like, couldn't care less if you tried. I'm going to say something about Caleb Williams that I've only said about one other prospect ever, and I have never been more right on a player in my life. I'm starting to see a whole mess of Josh Rosen here. I don't doubt your talent. I doubt your attitude a lot. I doubt your commitment to this a lot. And the more you do this, the more I dig into your film, the less I like. We put out a reel last week that's done over 500,000 views in less than a week. I've probably had 14,000 people call me an idiot. That's just the number of comments. Some of them are positive. It's the internet, so not many. Stick your reputation on it. Throw your face on it and tell me he's a generational prospect. Because I sit here and do this 3 hours a day, every weekday, 52 weeks out of the year. I also have a damn near flawless track record with quarterbacks since we've been doing this. Tank, who sits across the desk from me here, can you attest to my track record with quarterbacks?
It's pretty good.
Because, see, here's the thing. I keep receipts, and there's video with my face on it. I don't hide behind a profile with DJ Jeezy, or that was one of the ones I saw. Or what was the other? There was another one that was misspelled. You misspelled your username and called me an idiot. I can't remember what it was. I've looked at all of these things. I am now willing to ask somebody that's done this forever to say Caleb Williams is a bust. He is a bust. It is not going to go well. You mark my words.
Is this just like when you said C.J. Stroud was going to be a bust?
He's 6 games in.
Just saying.
He's 6 games in.
He's looked pretty well. Look, I'm not doubting you on Caleb. I'm completely out on the attitude as well. It's a massive turnoff when you start talking about wanting ownership from a new team and you got your dad out there floating. Oh, he ain't coming out unless
it's
you're
all
going
of
to
these
give
things
us
together.
It's all of the things that draws way too much attention. And guess what? You can draw that kind of attention, but you better damn well be able to back it up on the field.
And he's not backing it up.
And you can't do it.
And he's not backing it up.
No, you can beat bad teams. Good job. Way to go. See how that works out for you. There have been a lot of stat accumulators in college football. You know where they ended up? Working at the Home Depot. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The Daily Draft continues after this. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the party. Less is more, so roll it back, everybody. Roll it back. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always soft. It's our party vibe. She's cushioning things so our cheeks feel flat. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
We're back in the Sportsocracy, and yeah, it's always spicier to go with the stock downs to start out the daily draft here.
Sorry, I went on like a 10-minute cathartic rant there, because see, here's the thing. I can't record a video every time I want to respond to some asinine thing that people have said to me. Plus, some of you really need to understand that your profile is but only a click away.
Mm-hmm.
I can see you. I can see you. Before you tell me how great of an athlete you are, you should probably be more than 5'4", $105, with a bow tie that doesn't fit. But okay, I'm done.
But
with
I
that
played
one.
the game.
I played in middle school. I'm sure you were the best termite ever.
Termites. That was fun time.
Sergeant Skullcrusher asked, "Is Caleb Williams more or less of a bust than Justin Fields?" From a concerned Bears fan. I'm really glad you asked that. Let me explain this from a different point of view. My problem with Caleb Williams, I understand the O-line problem. I understand that there's talent. He's super talented. I've never said that he wasn't. His attitude is awful. And that's not just coming from me seeing it. You hear things when you do this because you make friends and they tell you things behind closed doors. I've never heard a positive about his attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Not once. When he started doing I put obscenity, whoever we're playing, on my fingernails. Yet, do you know how many people messaged me and went, "That's a bad sign"?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a lot of scouts.
Yep.
And at the time I went, yeah, immature kid, I can look past that. Yeah. Now I'm looking at you as, you're the captain of this team. You're getting beat by a Utah team on their third quarterback. And you're just sitting there like you couldn't care less. You're looking at the birds and the stars and the moon like you couldn't possibly care less.
He's the picture perfect, to me, he's the picture perfect of a millennial superstar athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has the entitlement that no one's ever had.
And you're about to have the weight of a franchise put on your shoulders because you're being billed this way. That's not what the tape says. That is not what the tape says with him. Now, in terms of Justin Fields, we all saw that. He's a one-read quarterback at Ohio State. He is really going to struggle acclimating to the NFL. I see some of that with Caleb Williams, but I also see special arm talent. My problem is you're going to go into a bad situation, and I'm not sure you're the guy that leads you out of that. I'm not sure you get saddled with Urban Meyer in your first year that you're the guy that leads you out of that. You deal with that train wreck, and then 2 years from now, you're the potential 1 seed in the AFC because guys have wanted to come play with you. Calvin Ridley wanted to come play with you. Christian Kirk wanted to come play with you. Travis Etienne wanted to play with you. I don't see any of those USC guys that are going to be screaming to come play with Caleb Williams. Because it is weird to me that you have a quarterback that just goes and sits on a bench by himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's off-putting. And when you add that with things I've been told behind closed doors anyway, that math starts to math.
All right, let's continue with the daily draft here. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. I'm going with another stock down here. I'm going to the NFL, though, and I'm going to go with Justin Herbert because I was not prepared to come in today and hear you, Jeremy, say what you said about Justin Herbert. That we're pretty much we're in the books now. This is no longer is he an elite quarterback in this league. That he's fine, that he's in the top tier, but maybe at the bottom of the top tier, and that's as good as he'll ever be. Herbert's taken a lot of heat for what happened yesterday against the Kansas City Chiefs. And, I mean, he had 2 interceptions in the game, took 5 sacks. It was a lot. And he has to be the guy, right? All things considered, you have to be the guy to lift your team. And we haven't seen you do that. Not very many times, anyway.
This is a top 5 in the NFL talented team. They have never for 5 seconds looked like a top 5 team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that come from the top down? It absolutely does. It absolutely does. If Justin Herbert was the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs and Pat Mahomes was in Kansas City, I think we'd be having a slightly different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it works with all of them.
Yep.
That's how it works with all of them. You want to know why the bust rate's so high? Because a lot of these guys wind up with the Bears and the Jets and teams like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Yep. And I just you look at the history of the Chargers and how many of these talents you've had and how many of them have had a ceiling of being about the 6th best quarterback in the league.
Yep.
Drew Brees. Yeah, he went to New Orleans and got better. Weird how that happened. After you unseated him for Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. He was the best of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that it's really all that close. I just think he has a ceiling. And I think you saw it on full display yesterday.
Yep. He's, like I said, he's taken a lot, and it is definitely a reimagined time for the Los Angeles Chargers, I think. I'm still shocked we haven't gotten the breaking news yet. Next stock down is the Buffalo Bills. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, right? We thought that 14-9 thing with the Giants, it's a blip game. You're just coming back from the UK, and I don't know, excuse after excuse after excuse. But now what's the excuse? Because now you look at this team and go, and Jeremy said it at the start of the program, and we went over the schedule, and I don't see any other path either. Unless something crazy happens and they reorganize the deck chairs here. This is a team that's not going to make the playoffs.
It certainly looks that way.
Because I can't take you in close games. I can't believe that you're going to be able to come up with a win when you're faced with adversity in the playoffs against a Kansas City or even a Baltimore. Or
you're too inconsistent to come through this schedule.
Right.
You're too inconsistent to come through this schedule and not get dinged enough times to not be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe we got this far without saying I'm going to take a stock up on the Baltimore Ravens.
Good for you.
Yeah, you showed that your high side is, I'm going to say, higher than it's been in the last handful of years. I still have reservations. I want to see more of this.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a game that we went into, at least I went into, saying this has crush spot for Baltimore written all over it because this has trap game for Detroit written all over it, but you're going to have to do your part because it's still a good team. And they did. They didn't just beat you. They literally ripped your soul out in the first 10 minutes of this game. This was never in doubt. If you missed the kickoff of this game and came in at 125, the game was already over. Because Lamar Jackson did everything he needed to do. And that high side, my hope is that this starts the snowball effect and they get healthier and they get right. And this is another legit contender in the AFC. And I think it will be. How high you can go, I don't know. Because Kansas City is better defensively, and I will always take Pat Mahomes against Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
But after yesterday, it's closer than many want to think. Because I haven't looked at the odds today, but it would blow my mind if Lamar Jackson was not the favorite to win the MVP right now.
Okay.
I had him on my short list beforehand. And you know how betting markets move.
Yeah. I'm sure he did
very
take a step
fickle.
forward.
They're very fickle. You know what? I don't admit when I'm wrong easily. And I'm doing this with a little tongue-in-cheek. But I'm going to go stock up for old Bluto. Let's give old Ryan Day a little flowers. You have no quarterback. But, man, you got one really dynamic wide receiver. And Brian Hartline, I will give you credit. You looked at that offense and went, we can only do one thing. There's no Emeka Ibuka today, so we need to go to Marvin Harrison a billion times. And that's exactly what you did. And Penn State, yikes. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't what I wanted out of you.
Well, I'm glad
I will straight up say, and I've already gotten some flack for this because I said this during the fantasy show yesterday, I fully believe Ohio State's going to go take on Michigan and get thumped. Because your quarterback is just not good.
And that leads...
And he's going to get somebody killed if you're not careful.
Yep, that leads me right into my stock up. Next pick is the Michigan Wolverines. Because, it's not a shocker that they went and beat Michigan State 49-0. It doesn't show us anything other than, well, this is a really good team, and they'd never let up, regardless of who they're playing. They don't play down to their opponents. They just do their thing, steamroll you, and move on. But it's because of that they are now the odds-on favorite in Vegas to win the national title. Now at plus 220, easy for me to say, plus 220 at Caesars Sportsbook to win the national championship, followed by the Georgia Bulldogs, two-time defending champions, are now at plus 280. So Michigan has risen over the weekend to become the favorite, and I wonder what took so long. But when you're just demolishing everyone.
People.
Yeah, when you're just demolishing everybody, it was only a matter of time before Vegas came around to go, yeah, that's dumb. We shouldn't have anybody but them.
Do you know what the combined scores of their 8 games are this year?
No, but it's a whole lot to very little.
325-47.
Good night.
325-47. They have scored literally 50 points more than anybody in the Big Ten and allowed 30 points less than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you played anybody. I don't care. They haven't played anybody either. In large part. Michigan's real good. And this is a really vet team that came back with a mission.
Yep.
And it shows.
Yep. And lastly, stock up. It doesn't really mean all that much in the grand scheme of things, but you know what? Maybe it saved Tony Elliott's job for a little bit. The Virginia Cavaliers. You got to take your hat off to them for getting the win over the North Carolina Tar Heels. It was the first time in school history. Now, remember, this is a team that Carolina and Virginia have played 134 times. So, been around doing this football thing for a while. First time in their history they've ever beaten a top 10 team on the road. So, congratulations to Tony Elliott and the Cavaliers, who finally have something to cheer about after, 2 years of him being on the job?
We have a House of Reprehensible Super Chat stock up.
I'm your Huckleberry.
From Soaring Eagle, he said, stock up the Fighting Air Force Falcons, who also set the record for longest pass in their program history.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was
16 yards.
it was a long one. 94, I think.
Look good.
But I will say, top 25 team. Let's go. My final stock up, and you know what? I got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do it because we got a little breaking news.
You want me to hit breaking news? All right, let's do it then.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Don't with the underbite thing. That's just stop doing that. It's in my peripherals. I can't stop saying it. Matt Eberflus says that Justin Fields will be doubtful this week against the LA Chargers. My stock up is one West Virginia feller, Tyson Bagent.
Yeah.
Secret Bagent man. And now I'm going to get into my conspiracy theory. The Chicago Bears know they have a top 5 pick in the bag because they have the Carolina Panthers pick.
Yep.
If you look at their schedule, they go Chargers, Saints, Panthers the next 3. That team looks really galvanized behind Tyson Bagent. And I'm not telling you they're going to make the playoffs or anything. I'm not that out of my mind.
Yeah.
However, when you already have a top 5 pick in the bag, there is really no incentive for you to not just try to figure out what you've got and where. Here's my conspiracy theory. And people are going to tell me I'm crazy. I don't really care. I think Chicago knows, low-key, Justin Fields ain't it. And they're going to look to move on from that in this offseason regardless because they're going to be right there for Caleb Williams. They're going to be right there for Drake May. If Tyson Bagent can go into L.A. and beat the Chargers, I'm not sure that he doesn't start for this team the rest of the year. I know that sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is. Matt Eberflus is coaching for his job. At this point, he could give a damn where you drafted anybody because he knows this is my last shot. If I go out on my shield here at 4-13 and this team is awful, I'm nothing more than a defensive coordinator for the rest of my life.
He'll be a hell of a journeyman in that job.
And I think he knows with Justin Fields, there's no shot. Tyson Bagent is not more talented than Justin Fields, I don't think. But there is a possibility that you can galvanize this team, get a couple wins. You got a Charger team that's reeling, the Saints that are reeling, the Carolina Panthers that are not very good. Then you sandwich 2 Lions games that are, I don't care who you have playing quarterback, that ain't going to go your way. Then you catch the Vikings. You got 2 against the Cardinals and the Falcons, and you end the season with the Packers. This team could end up with a better record than you think. And don't be shocked if they use this Sunday night game to go. See, that's why we're playing Tyson Bagent.
You're in this.
Call me crazy.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Most important message of the day is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and nice out here this afternoon. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Clear skies and chilly here tonight, low 40s. High pressure will continue to dominate our weather through the middle and end of the week. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures both afternoons reaching highs in the low part of the 70s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday and Friday. High temperatures both afternoons in the middle to even upper part of the 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Now, you can relive the greatest moments from our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Lenny Kravitz kicks things off with his biggest hits.
Foo Fighters get the whole crowd singing along.
Tim McGraw debuts his new song live.
Public Enemy brings the 90s hip-hop energy.
Fall Out Boy covers a classic while literally on fire. And so much more.
Relive the greatest moments from our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming now only on Hulu for a limited time.
Colloquy is the place to be on Saturday, October 28th as WCU football takes on Mercer for homecoming. Come cheer on the Catamounts and third-year coach Kerwin Bell as the Catamounts take on the Bears in a SoCon showdown. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. at Whitmire Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit CatamountSports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
The iHeartRadio app and the NFL right in your pocket. The home of the NFL Podcast Network, covering all 32 NFL teams, plus all the expert advice to win your fantasy league. And, of course, live NFL games.
Touchdown!
Download the free iHeartRadio app today. Free never sounded so good.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets. And we're back in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, and it's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Yeah, have you, I know you don't have a keen eye on the news cycle all the time, Jeremy.
No, I think all politicians are corrupt, and there's a lot of stupid people in the politics.
Well, did you hear that there's a manhunt going on in the Nashville, Tennessee area?
I have not.
2 police officers were shot over the weekend in the city of Lavernia. I think I'm saying that
Correct.
right. The city of Lavernia on Saturday afternoon, 20 miles southeast of Nashville. 2 Lavernia Police Department officers were injured in a shooting. So apparently, suspect steals a car. They pursue. They made contact. There was a struggle with the subject. And during that struggle, the subject then produced a handgun and fired shots. The 2 officers lived. They were injured. They were sent to the hospital. They have since been released from the hospital, so that tells you that their injuries were not life-threatening, but they are still on the hunt for the suspect in this case. Now, the weird part about the story is that the suspect's name is John C. Drake Jr. John C. Drake Sr. just so happens to be the chief of police in Nashville. He is the Metro Nashville Police Department's chief, and the kid, well, he's not a kid, he's 38 years old. John C. Drake Jr. is the son of the chief of police, to which the chief of police has had to issue a statement saying, "This is my kid, but he's not really my kid." They're apparently estranged. He has, and the statement from the chief has been, he has not been in my life for a long, long time, despite all of my efforts to teach him right, basically. He has gone to a life of crime and has basically said, go get him. It's not very often that you see the son of a police chief shoot 2 police officers and be the subject of what is now a region-wide manhunt as they are trying to bring him to justice for the attempted murder of the 2 police officers.
Your story was much heavier than mine.
As
mine,
it always is.
Yeah, oh yeah. If mine, you can always rest assured, it's one of 3 things.
Somebody did weird stuff.
That's exactly what this one is. My story is from Kenton, Warwickshire in England. There was a homicide. There was a rambler who spotted a woman's foot and hand poking out of the undergrowth, called police thinking it was a dead body. The police thought they had a murder investigation on their hands, so they called in a forensic team.
Yeah, you got to send
It's
them.
exactly what you do. You find the body. There's a hand. There's a foot. We must know.
A foot.
A foot. Well, they call it football, so I called it a foot. We got to know who this person is. They spent 31 hours conducting a murder investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they forgot what should be step one. You should confirm this body is a person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read this verbatim from the press release put out by the police department, and I'm going to try my best to not laugh a lot. This was not a person, but a very dirty, broken, and overused sex doll.
Overused.
The first two adjectives are humorous. The third adjective raises many questions for me that I'm not going to ask on this show. You can ask them yourself. Check out the press release. It's really intriguing. Here's my question. How, over the course of 31 hours, did nobody go, that's a doll? That's a doll. Like, do you notice that the body has not turned a strange color?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no pigment change, as you would expect with a person who has been unalived?
Well, they said it was, old and dirty, so maybe it didn't have the color. Maybe it was already the color of a dead body. Who
and
knows?
Nobody's when this was discovered, nobody's face showed more shock than the overused sex doll.
But how do you go a full day, right? Look, just doing my math here. 31 hours is longer than 24, correct?
Correct.
So you went longer than a whole day
in
the investigation without ever finding out that this thing's plastic.
You went 1.25 days. That's how math works. My question is, when you went to take DNA samples, did you not at some point go, it ain't got no blood in it? Was that not weird? Is it not weird when you tried to take a blood sample and went, and you got plastic? I have no less than 84 jokes I want to tell right now. Every one of them will get me fired. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, they do things different in England.
Mm-hmm. We got so much to unpack from
that story. You're right. It's a lot.
And I just don't think that we should. You know what I think we should do? I think we should.
Corey Dayhar's just won.
Oh,
Corey Dayhar's just won comment of the day. Said they found it. What actually told them it wasn't a body was they found a note underneath the body that said, "Thanks, Dirty Mike and the boys. Mm-hmm. You win. You win today." I feel like we should send that man a shirt because that is hilarious. Corey Dayhar, send me a message somewhere. I need to know what size shirt you wear because that's real funny.
That is comment of the day. And
no doubt.
Next, let's award the Beast of the Night.
Beast of the Night. Brought to you by Monster Brewing. The Beast Unleashed.
Well, there was one dude that was unleashed yesterday.
Yeah.
On the defensive side of the ball for the Cleveland Browns.
His name is Myles Garrett. You know, every time I see somebody get flagged for trying to jump over the center, like, why does anybody do that? None of you can possibly jump over a grown man without touching them. No. Myles Garrett can.
Yep.
And literally can just block a punt with his midsection, which is... Then he forces a fumble in the end zone, which was one of Cleveland's touchdowns. That dude is not of this earth. I am reasonably sure of it.
He's a bad man.
And I get it. There were some bad officiating calls in that game. But that game ball, if it went to anybody that's not named Myles Garrett, you did it wrong.
Yep. No doubt about it. How did that end up a 39-38 game?
Well, because Gardner Minshew one time, a whole bunch of times went, "Hey, y'all, watch this. Woohoo!" One of them was to Josh Downs where it was a that was a free play on an offsides. And apparently nobody for Cleveland knew that the play had continued because Josh Downs just ran completely uncovered. Another one was Michael Pittman, who they hit at the 50-yard line, and two of them converged on him, but neither one of them understood this is not flag football. In spite of the fact that we have advertised LA 2028 flag football, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, none of those dudes are playing. But apparently they didn't understand this wasn't flag football, and he just went, "Oh, I'm still up. I got to go." It's one of those games you just look at and go, how did this happen? Gardner Minshew with 2 rushing touchdowns. If you had that, you're a witch.
Yep.
Tell you another fun stat.
Didn't make sense, though.
The Cleveland Browns gave up 1,006 yards in 5 games. They gave up 456 yards to Gardner Minshew and the Indianapolis Colts. I can't make sense. What are you trying to get me to make sense?
No, that's what I was going to say. Was try to make any of this make sense. Just the NFL from week to week.
I can make this one. I can make this one make sense. The Indianapolis Colts are better than you think. Shane Steichen is doing a formidable job because that offense is not fun to deal with. And now that you're going to have Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Colts are making the playoffs because they're not.
No.
You got a section of that schedule. You got some winnable games.
You got 5 coming up in a row. They go Saints, Panthers, Patriots, Buccaneers, Titans. That's 5 wins you could have in a row.
You're not wrong.
If that same team shows up that showed up against the Browns yesterday, you'll kill every one of those teams.
I've heard no lies stated here.
And then you go Bengals, Steelers.
They're not a
Falcons,
lot of fun
Raiders, Texans. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're not going to be a playoff team?
No. Because they're going to be inconsistent.
Maybe so.
You can't have look, we've already seen.
That's a lot of crap on your schedule.
Yeah, go back and check that box score from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That was bad mustachio. Just know that dude's in there.
That's still possible.
That dude's 100% in there. So you're going to lose a couple as it shouldn't, but you're way ahead of schedule.
No doubt.
Way ahead of schedule. And I think it's a credit to Shane Steichen. I really do. That was a great hire. And by the way, hey, I'm going to say this again, but I'm going to say it the reverse of the way I said it the first time. This is why when you're going to draft a franchise quarterback, you should probably hire an offensive coach. That's just math. 2 plus 2, 4. Even though, yes, I do know that quarterback's not here.
Yeah. 39-38. Cleveland needing that controversial call at the end to get the last touchdown. Kareem Hunt, a couple of tutties yesterday as they survive against the Indianapolis Colts, and P.J. Walker just keeps on winning.
Yeah, the Deshaun Watson thing needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I
don't know what to do with this.
I don't know.
This is now the second time that you've been cleared to go back into a game that you didn't. Is it better if they benched him or better if he just went, I'm not going back in?
It would be better if they benched him. Because to me,
I want to agree with you.
To me, the quarterback telling you, screw you, I'm not going back in this game is a big problem. I don't care how he feels personally.
Yeah, but he's already done that. I've already seen you do that. That's not really new information. If you've lost so much faith in him that you're benching him for P.J. Walker, because you understand there's no out in this contract. You're paying him every single cent of this deal, no matter what happens. If you had given me 100 shots at this, when this trade was made and we got to this point, I would never have thought Deshaun Watson would look this bad. With a defense that outside of yesterday has been this good. This could end up being historically bad for a franchise. Because, we always talk about, dead money and things like that. Do yourself a favor every time you want to talk about this. Go to the Google box and search Cleveland Browns salary cap. You'll find Over the Cap, a couple of the others, whichever one you want. Just go hit post June 1 cut on Deshaun Watson and see what that number looks like, and you'll understand why. No. We got to figure out some way to fix this. I don't quite know what that way is, but we're going to have to figure out some way to fix this with Deshaun Watson. But they keep winning.
Yeah.
P.J. Walker was terrible yesterday. He still won. Did it when it mattered. In spite of the fact you had about 7 chances to throw that away, and I think the officials bailed you out of 6 of them.
I was going to say, how long can you do that, though? Can you keep trotting P.J. Walker out there and get a win next week on the road at Seattle?
I'm going to say no.
I'll doubt it.
I'm going to say no.
You can't do that against the Ravens on the road.
But that's 2. Keep going. You'll figure out real fast that there's not a lot of those.
I mean,
there's 5.
And I understand. I mean, you got the Jaguars and the Jets and the Bengals as well. And the rest of it you should win with P.J. Walker, with Deshaun Watson, with whoever. I'm baffled. I'm truly baffled at where this is, and I know that Andrew Berry and the rest of the dudes in that front office are as well. I mean, how did we do this? How did we give this money to this guy, and then he's just going to basically shove the finger in our face?
GG Gambling said, what'd you expect when a dude hadn't played in a year plus? Do you know how many times that's happened? Where a dude has missed a full season and then come back and been just fine? And he used Le'Veon Bell as the example. You mean that washed running back that had 5 jillion carries in his first 4 years in the league? Those are 2 exponentially different situations. I think Deshaun Watson's a bad fit. I also think Deshaun Watson got paid, and his give a falafel level went into the toilet. Because I don't know if you noticed this while he was standing on the sidelines, that dude didn't have one to give. He was completely checked out of that game. And that would be really unsettling to me if I was Cleveland. I still think there's a talented quarterback in there. I don't know that this marriage is not just horribly broken.
Yeah. All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And, oh, look at that. It's time to say goodbye for the day. So...
I had a whole rant that I'll have to save for tomorrow.
Shoot.
Oh, shoot.
Well, at least that's one segment we don't have to prepare for tomorrow.
And it's about Tay-Tay.
That's right. Join us tomorrow here in the Sportsocracy for a Power Rankings Tuesday. We'll be back on ESPN Asheville and the YouTubes at noon. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Marine litter is often the result of poorly managed trash on land. To help prevent trash from escaping from your outdoor trash bins on collection day, keep the trash bin lid closed, don't overflow it, and put it out for pickup shortly before the scheduled pickup time. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips,
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus, Plus, a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Market.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Sunny and nice out here this afternoon. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Clear skies and chilly here tonight, low 40s. High pressure will continue to dominate our weather through the middle and end of the week. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures both afternoons reaching highs in the low part of the 70s. Mix of clouds and sunshine Thursday and Friday. High temperatures both afternoons in the middle to even upper part of the 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
We didn't start the game well, and we finished the half well. We started the third quarter well. Usually we played great in the third quarter, and then we let them run right down the field. But when you give up 228 yards rushing and only rush 143, they ran it 54 times and killed the clock. They had it 37 minutes to our 23. You're not going to win games. And the kids tried hard. They fought. They hung in there. But obviously we as coaches didn't have them prepared. So that's on us.
What an absolute disaster. What an absolute disaster.
It was bad.
Oh, my gosh. Hi, it's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. That is Victoria. We are here for you, as always, on a Monday. And as always, the list of things that I have to talk about is too long.
A lot happened this weekend.
Yeah, I am not lying. Not only did a lot happen this weekend, and none of it good.
Yeah. And the Panthers didn't even play, so we can't blame them.
We can't. It's amazing.
What's going on?
I'm sort of glad they didn't play because it would have been one other thing to talk about today.
Yeah.
And we do have some Pantherish things to discuss today, but it's just going to kind of flow in the middle of everything else. But I do these videos for WRAL TV5 News. They have a Sunday night sports show. So if you're local in Raleigh, you may watch Sports Night
Yeah.
But you might watch it. And that's I hope you do. So my Hurricanes video, I usually send them a Hurricanes video. It's about, sometimes I go long, and they use like 2 minutes of it. My Hurricanes video was, if you thought the Carolina Hurricanes were going to save the triangle from a disastrous